It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandel.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent located downtown Midland. All right, are we allowed to say that Riley Green is officially back? Or was it too long of a sample size of him being a negative hitter that you want to see him improve his at-bats for a longer stretch? Because going back to this weekend against the Angels, it seemed like he had started to turn things around, had a multi-hit game to open up that series, had the homer on Sunday, and then last night he leads things off with a double against the White Sox, and it seems like he's starting to get back to the hitter that we've seen for most of the season from Riley Green. I'm okay with the strikeout numbers, and honestly, I could care less if he leads the league in strikeouts as long as he's still providing that 250-plus batting average, that 800 to 850 OPS, and obviously, most importantly, hitting 35 to 40 homers. We see it year after year that the top 5, top 3 strikeout leaders are good hitters. They're good power hitters. Maybe that's not what we expected from Riley Green, but I also don't think we expected him to maybe get close to hitting 40 bombs on the season. It helps when the likes of a Kerry Carpenter is also really starting to bolster this Tigers offense. It's got to make things easier for Riley Green to get back into the swing of things. I'm not 100% sure if I'm ready to say that Riley Green is back and fully out of this slump, but if he strikes out once or twice a game but is adding a hit or two, still having that extra base pop, I think we can live with it. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent located downtown Midland.
Greater Midland is bringing the heat this summer. Hit the pavement for Run the River on August 1st, Midland's scenic summer run along the Tridge. Then, cheer on the hometown heroes at the Loons Pennant Race Night, August 8th at Dow Diamond. Rally your crew July 11th through 13th for the sizzling Pig and Pit Pickleball Tournament at the Tennis Center. And don't miss the pros at the APP Great Lakes Open, August 13th through 17th. World-class pickleball right here in Midland. Get in the game at greatermidland.org, where summer plays big.
You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic?
Yeah.
We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that. Hello. Good morning, and welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show on this Tuesday here in Midland, Michigan. Woohoo! Happy Tuesday to everyone listening on YouTube and Facebook as well. Wow. We got a lot to get to today. Tigers, Lions, all coming up. We've got Jeremy Reisman from PrideOfDetroit.com joining us in the 11 o'clock hour. Want to go over a couple of other things throughout the course of the show as well. It should be a good one, including, is it creepy to stand right outside of your neighbor's house and just wait? That's all coming up on the show today, like I said. Should be a good one. Kyle, you make it through the end of the Tigers game yesterday. They go into a rain delay in the 9th inning and basically make every Detroit fan stay up extra late just for them to come back, do 3 more outs. Will Vest comes in, gets the save, thanks to a Spencer Torkelson bomb I'm feeling a little sleepy this morning because I'm not going to lie. I did stay up for it a little bit past my bedtime. I think we're averaging like 4 or 5 hours of sleep the last 5 days or so, but we're caffeinated up. We're ready to go for today's show. But did you make it through today's
Yeah, I'm not going to
game?
lie either. I fell asleep about 15 minutes into the rain delay question segment with Benetti Dirks and Daniela Bruce.
That wasn't keeping you going?
No. I obviously, the Tork homer got me excited, and then going into a rain delay in the 9th inning, I think I'm out on that. You know?
Just what do you want them to do? Call the game?
No, I don't think there's anything else they could do. At least it wasn't that long. Like the rain did eventually stop, so it wasn't that bad of a delay. But, man, that's got to be so brutal for the players to go into a delay that late into the game, especially like Will Vest has to come in that sort of taking an hour off basically when maybe he wasn't even going to come in. Maybe Finnegan was going to take the 9th himself. But, yeah, they still end up pulling it out. But, yeah, I did not make it through. I fell asleep unintentionally during the rain delay.
Well, it certainly worked out for Vest. He came in and made that bottom of the 9th inning about as quick as it can be. Comes in, 3 outs, instantly, boom, Tigers win, take game 1 of a series. They've won 9 of their last 14 now. And they're quietly, I don't know about one of the hottest teams in baseball, but they're in that next tier right now.
I mean, compared to the rest of the league, right? I mean, there's not a lot of extremely hot teams in baseball at the moment.
I mean, you have the Brewers, and then it feels like everyone else is behind
the
them in
Mariners
terms
are really
of who's hot. Yeah. And the Mariners, to me, they're just that team to me that in the American League, if you're just going based on value and what is being presented to you by whatever sports book you use, I just wanted to keep sprinkling on some bets on them. They've got the pitchers, they've got they've got the starters, they've got the bullpen, they've got the bats, they hit the home runs, they walk, they steal bases. I really like that team, Kyle.
They've won 7 in a row, 9 of their last 10.
So with this Tigers team that's quietly getting hot, I started to think to myself, what are a couple things that could truly change the output of this season and the rest of the regular season, and hell, maybe even what this team looks like going into the playoffs. And to me, there are 2 X factors for the Tigers the rest of the season. The first of those being Spencer Torkelson. Spencer Torkelson hits his 26th home run of the season yesterday against the White Sox. It's the go-ahead home run that ends up getting them the win in yesterday's game. But the funny thing about Spencer Torkelson is this career path that he's been on and the story and the arc of everything has just been so fascinating. He, ironically, has been one of the most consistent players on the Tigers this season. His OPS by month, March 1293, only played a handful of games. April 832, June 828, July 664, a little bit of a dip. And then in August, he's sitting right at an 851 OPS. He's been one of the more consistent players on this team. He's a career high in walk percentage. The strike percentage isn't astronomical right now. He's getting better and better. And he still hasn't had his monster month that he had in August of 24 and also August of 23. August of 24, he hits a 945 OPS, hits over 300 for the month. And then you go back to August of 23, that's the month he had 9 home runs, his career high for a single season. We still haven't got that sort of month for Spencer Torkelson yet this season. The only thing that we've had is the opposite of that, so where he had a little bit of a cooler month in July. As much of the Tiger season has been up and down, Torkelson has been one of the more consistent players on this team. And if he can actually provide one of these monster months to close the season, whether that's the rest of August or September, I do think that changes the way that we necessarily view this Tigers team. He's behind Riley Green in a lot of the bulk stats, like total hits. He's one behind him in home runs right now. But a big reason why, RBIs too, a big reason why is because he has like 20 less at-bats. Because Green, for the most part, was hitting earlier than him in the lineup throughout most of the season. Now, we've seen that shift a little bit, and Torkelson's kind of in the primary spot in the lineup. And if he can continue to deliver, all of a sudden we're talking about this former number 1 overall pick being a true difference maker on this team, not only, for the rest of the season, but potentially into the playoffs too. I'm looking at this like, okay, I know Riley Green was the all-star, and I know he's still the face of this franchise, but baseball's a funny sport because from a season-to-season standpoint, you never know what's going to happen. And as much as Riley Green owns the first half of the season, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for us to get to the end of the regular season, and all of a sudden we're sitting here thinking maybe Torkelson had the best hitting season for any Tiger. And the average is never going to be what you want it to be, but this guy does hit bombs. 31 is his career high, and he's 5 away from that already this season. Again, 1 away from tying Riley Green for the most on the team, just based on the way Riley Green's playing right now, who had another good game yesterday, and based on the way Torkelson has played all season. I'm not at all going to be surprised if by the time we get to the end of the season, Torkelson's actually the guy who led the team in home runs, kind of like, I don't know if any of us predicted that, but kind of like how we predicted that multiple seasons ago, him being the big power hitter on this team. And maybe we're looking around like, yeah, this actually season was secretly Spencer Torkelson, who is the best hitter on this team when you consider every game that both of these guys ended up playing. That is the first X factor. Spencer Torkelson. On the mound, didn't pitch yesterday, but Troy Melton. I was hoping he could come in at some point yesterday. I think we'll probably see him today. Troy Melton, I think he's got good enough stuff to be one of the starters on this team. And I'm certainly more intrigued by him to be a starter than I am a Charlie Morton at this point. Honestly, than I am a Chris Paddock. He should be in the starting rotation ahead of those guys. But there's a reason that they keep him in the pen. He is insurance for when Mize has a bad start and when Flaherty has a bad start. Because both of those guys, you know within the first inning or two whether or not you're getting the good version of them or the bad version of them. The fact that you have Troy Melton in the pen, who, by the way, in 2 pen appearances so far, very limited sample size, but opponents are hitting 118 against him. He's got a .71 whip and a 1.69 ERA. Dominated his first 2 appearances out of the pen. And when you take in consideration his first 2 starts as well, expected batting average of .212. He's an intriguing prospect. He's still on that prospect list. He'll be off of it soon. But he has 6 pitches in the arsenal, gets people to strike out on that slider. He's got good stuff. And the fact that they have this guy coming out of the bullpen, I'm not trying to sell you that suddenly the Tigers have this good bullpen, but the fact that they have someone who you can use twice in a 5-game series for insurance when a couple of your starters maybe don't have the outing that you'd want them to, and then all of a sudden you can bring in a guy for them to go 3 or 4 innings, that to me is also somewhat of a secret weapon in the bullpen. And while his future is most certainly as a starter, I'm totally content with him in this role for the rest of the season because, again, you bring him in game 1 of a series. I guess game 1 belongs to Tarek Skubal, so ideally you don't. But game 2 of a series, he gives you 3 good innings. All of a sudden, he's not done for the series. You're going to be able to bring this guy in another game as well because my mind is now thinking playoffs, right? How does this fit into a playoff series? That's the way Tigers fans, you should be thinking. I know there was a little bit of a threat there that, hey, well, this division lead's only down to 5 games right now, but it feels like they're going to right the ship. And you look at their schedule, as much as there was a little bit of a worry last week, and I'll raise my hand and say I was worried too, they should be okay. I have a hard time believing that they're really going to blow this division as much as it did, in fact, scare me last week. But if Torkelson can actually turn a corner, not turn a corner, but have one of those epic August months that he's had the past 2 seasons, or maybe that's September this year, and if Troy Melton can continue to dominate out of the pen, okay, that's how we start talking about this team in a way that they can win multiple series. Because, again, post-deadline, I just thought multiple teams in the American League passed the Tigers, and I stand on that right now. I think the Mariners did. I think the way that the Yankees are playing right now that Judge is back, hard to deny some of their numbers offensively. Toronto's playing like one of the best teams in baseball. You've got Houston, that's always a perennial team in the mix. There's a lot of good teams in the American League, and all of which got better than the Tigers at the deadline, at least in terms of what they were before, what they were after, the gap between those 2 teams. Tigers took the smallest step forward. That's concerning. But if they have internal development from Torkelson, and he starts playing like a real number 1 overall pick, and they have this wild card out of the bullpen that no one has really seen in the American League in Troy Melton, this intriguing young prospect that you didn't necessarily think was going to be a bullpen arm, but it's just the way A.J. Hinch wants to use him. If those 2 things can shift in favor of the Tigers' way, okay, then I'm ready to start talking about them once again as a team that maybe can win a couple series, because those to me are the two X factors the rest of the season. 989-837-6125. What is the X factor that can get you forward thinking with this Tigers team? What's the X factor for you that can make you start thinking about this Tigers team as another World Series contender again? Because I think a lot of people got off that train. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you never got off of it. But I certainly first half of the season thought World Series team. Post-deadline and even in that 2-week stretch where they were the worst team in baseball, it was like, all right, maybe I got to reassess. Spencer Torkelson, Troy Melton, that is the route to me to get me back believing that this can be a World Series team. You with me, or you got another X factor? 989-837-6125. We've got the YouTube chat as well. You guys can drop a comment in there. Got a lot of good stuff coming throughout the course of the show, including an Around the League. We've got Jeremy Reisman coming on. How many coaches would you take over Dan Campbell? It's all coming up. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on a Tuesday here in the great state of Michigan. And by the way, First Class Epoxy now in Midlands turns boring concrete into smooth, shiny, durable floors. I don't know why I yelled there. Sorry. Perfect for garages, workshops, basements, anywhere you want food that looks great and lasts. Their epoxy is tough enough for heavy traffic and wild dance moves. Professional prep, flawless finish, done on time and built to last. Say goodbye to stains, cracks, and dull gray floors. Say hello to slick showroom shine. FirstClassEpoxyNow.com. Call them right now. Visit them online. That's First Class Epoxy Now, where your floors get the VIP treatment they didn't know they needed. Stay tuned. A lot of good stuff coming up. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Near, on the wall, whose house is the nicest on the block of them all?
Not yours.
What do you mean?
Your siding is faded, your gutters are falling off, and you have shingles missing. I suggest you call Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
I'm going to call Bresky Siding and Building Repair right now. Near, on the wall, now whose house is the nicest of them all?
Yours is, kind sir, yours is.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
When the summer heat is on, keep your cool with Answer Heating and Cooling. Our expert team specializes in fast, reliable air conditioning repairs, installations, and maintenance. Stay comfortable all season long with top-notch cooling solutions and simply outstanding service. Plus, with financing options and special rebates, cooling your home has never been more affordable. Answer Heating and Cooling, where comfort is our priority. Try our new schedule online option or call us today.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the local job market. We're here in person. And we're locally owned, so you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at Spherion.com to find your local Spherion office. Let's get to work.
Get ready, Michigan. Field of Frames Fest presented by Dow is taking over Dow Diamond September 26th through 28th. It's the ultimate celebration of gaming, esports, and community, bringing together fans, families, players, and industry pros for a 3-day festival like no other. Watch elite teams battle in high-stakes competition, the Valorant Collegiate Invitational and Rocket League Semi-Pro Showdown, each with $10,000 prize pools, a $5,000 Super Smash Bros. Open Tournament, and a 17U Fortnite Youth Tournament with $1,000 up for grabs. There's live music, entertainment, and activities for all ages, plus educational panels and hands-on workshops for those interested in tech, business, and gaming industries. Tickets start at just $25, and kids 10 and under get in free. Don't miss your chance to be part of a landmark event. Visit fieldofframesfest.com to grab your tickets today. Field of Frames. Experience the element of gaming.
Celebrate the 75th anniversary of a Peanuts Christmas with the Great Lakes Loons on Friday, August 29th. Relive the heartwarming classic in a festive atmosphere filled with nostalgia and holiday cheer. The team will also wear Peanuts-inspired jerseys that fans can bid on during a live online auction. For tickets, head to loons.com. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Spencer Torkelson, that's the key to me. That's the X factor for me for the Tigers going forward, for them to really jump back into World Series contention. He's been one of the most consistent players on this team throughout the course of the season, really only having one down month, and that was July. Other than that, has been really consistent across the board, and we're still yet to get that monster 950, 900 OPS month like he's had each of the past 2 seasons, ironically, both in August. Maybe he turns things around. Turn things around isn't even the right word. Maybe he really heats up the rest of August and it ends up being this month. Maybe it's September, but if he can really have this hot streak that he's kind of just not had this season, all of a sudden I think I am going to start thinking about this team once again as a team that can make it all the way. Troy Melton being the other X factor, because I love what A.J. Hinch has done with that. Yes, he would probably be better suited as a starter, and I think you'd probably get more out of him. But it's a unique situation because you have all these guys in a starting role that you don't necessarily want to put in the pen. And then you've got this young 24-year-old prospect where it's like, we're going to put you in the pen. We might need you to go bulk innings, but we can use you multiple times in the course of a series rather than just once. And you're also insurance for when Mize and Flaherty have their blow-up starts. I like those two guys in Torkelson and Melton. Those to me are the X factors going forward in this season, Kyle. Which one you like more? Is there one that I'm missing? What do you think?
Well, I think the big thing with Spencer Torkelson is like you said about the consistency, just a new Spencer Torkelson we've gotten this season, because Riley Green has, last year he was the consistent guy. And Spencer Torkelson was the up-and-down guy basically his whole career. Whereas this year, things have been completely flipped. How many games on the season, Ben, do you think that Spencer Torkelson's season OPS has been below 800? Like going into a game. You know what I'm saying?
4, maybe a little stretch in July.
2 games.
Wow.
2 games this season, his OPS has been below 800, and it was 798 both times. So, he has been a very consistent hitter all season. So, yeah, I think that totally he has been the he is the X factor going forward, because when you have the inconsistency from Riley Green this season, Kerry Carpenter, who got off to a really slow start, now is heating up. Spencer Torkelson, along with Gleyber Torres, have been like the rocks of this lineup. Even Colt Keith has gone through some stretches. I mean, it happens, right? It happens to every hitter. Torkelson, really, it hasn't. Like you said, he had that bit of a down month in July, but was still bringing some pop to the table. And the big thing with Tork is that he has been getting on base much more this year, and I think that's what helps his case a lot more for this consistency aspect. Despite having a way lower batting average than a Riley Green, his on-base percentage is much higher just because of his ability to draw more walks this season, obviously striking out much less.
Yeah, I was about to say, career high in walk percentage. It's not quite a career best in strikeout percentage,
right,
but it's the best he's had since the rookie season, and that difference between...
It's not terrible. That's kind of the big
it's
part.
Fine.
Exactly.
24%?
Yeah, I think Torkelson, and then he just has come up clutch as well. That's the big part. I mean, how about Benetti last night? Just basically calling the Tork bomb, the pitch before it happens. Pretty hilarious stuff. And then on the flip side for Melton, look, I agree that he's the X factor, but I don't think it's out of the pen. It's still something that I don't agree with, that whether it was a Scott Harris, A.J. Hinch decision, I think the upside of Troy Melton as a starter and the ceiling just offers so much more to the Tigers long-term than a Chris Paddock or Charlie Morton. I do really like Charlie Morton's stuff. It's just every time, it sucks he gave up 6 earned the other day, because I was like, I came away from that start like, man, Morton was kind of sick today.
Yeah, what do you have, 7 Ks?
10 Ks. 10 Ks and 12 batters.
Yeah.
Or 12 outs. That's pretty insane. But obviously he gave up like 5 earned. So, but I don't know. The part that I think, make your point is that you trust him the most out of the bullpen, because who are the other bulk inning guys out of the pen that you are like when these Flaherty starts or my starts are bound to happen in a playoff series, who is the other bulk inning guy out of the bullpen that you're like, ooh, at least we got him to get us through these next couple innings before the back end guys can come in?
They don't exist.
Right.
It's just Troy Melton. That's why, like you said, ideally you probably ink the most out of Melton if he's a starter. And I think that's what he is long term. But for this season and what the Tigers need, I actually think it's a uniquely good fit for him to come out of the pen.
Right, and it's a good point. I mean, it does make a lot of sense because those starts are bound to happen. And with with Vest having good performance last night, I think that we can start to trust him a little more. Finnegan has been just a rock ever since he's shown up.
Yep.
But you need somebody to get you to those guys. And the Tigers don't have those guys in a consistent level. The Holton still exists. The Herter still exists, but Melton can be that guy who you trust every single time to come do that, and he has the endurance of a starting pitcher as well, where maybe we don't need to give him such a long rest as these other bullpen guys because he's used to having longer pitching performances.
You don't like the dead body of Tommy Canely, the corpse of him just out there, walks out to the mound?
I was actually thinking about this the other day, and the answer is probably yes, but do you think Tommy Canely makes the playoff roster? I would, because I was just thinking about it.
Up on him.
It's different than you don't have to DFA him or anything. Like once you get to the playoffs, it's just hey, your best 26 guys are on this team. Now, is there anyone in the minors that are better than him? Probably not. But I don't know. I just feel like why would you like he has just been a zero burger the last 2 months.
And Hinch knows it. Hinch knows it.
He pitches way less. When he comes in, it's in situations that are like not super high leverage because it's obviously they're either losing the game by a couple runs already or they're winning by several runs.
Yeah, 6 runs, and then he gives up 4, and they got to bring in Vest to close things out.
He's not coming in a tight game. It hasn't happened in weeks. So I was just thinking about that. Like, I wonder if he doesn't make the playoff roster just because of how much he actually hurts the team when he's out there.
The problem is there's not a guy in AAA knocking on the door on a pitching staff.
When you have Rafael Montero and Cody Hewer as the other options, it's like, well,
if there's going to be someone who doesn't
on the roster.
If there's going to be someone who doesn't make the playoff roster, I think it's Rafael Montero.
Yeah,
he's horrendous.
Like, yeah, but I mean, we can't say the same about Tommy Canely.
If you're going to bring I think Hanafy's got to take one of these roster spots.
Oh, for sure.
And the shuffling around.
Hanafy will be on the playoff roster, absolutely.
The shuffling around the last 2 weeks of Hanafy's roster spot is one of the most mishandled things I can remember from a roster building standpoint from Scott Harris. He sends Hanafy down, brings in Cody Hewer, and signs Luke Jackson. And then Hanafy's just sitting down in AAA. Well, they end up waiving Luke Jackson, so he's gone and pitching for Atlanta now. And they can't even bring Hanafy up until September 10th because I don't even know what rule. So that was mishandled horrendously.
Yeah, it was. And it's not like Hanafy is just some world ender, like he's going to just be like, how did you let him go to AAA?
But Luke Jackson was bad enough for you to DFA him.
Exactly. I mean, he was much better than Luke Jackson, much better than a lot of the guys that are in the pen right now. So
Rafael Montero.
Right, he was probably, honestly, other than the back end guys, he's probably your second best righty out of the bullpen at the moment.
Which not a high bar.
Not including Vest or Finnegan,
Yeah, not a high bar, but
still, better than a lot of the other options that are currently there.
It really doesn't make sense why he was sent down and for Cody Hewer and Luke Jackson and Rafael Montero. He's not worse than any of those guys. And I'm not some like Brendan Hanafy apologist, but come on, that was like a horribly mishandled situation by Scott Harris.
Very, very misunderstanding on that one.
989-837-6125. What are your X factors for the Tigers the rest of the way? We're going to get to some Mitt messages and hit the news when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on a Tuesday here in the great state of Michigan.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Loons took 4 of 6 off the Lugnuts last week in their second-to-last final homestand of 2025. And right now, they're riding the momentum of a 4-game win streak ahead of this 12-game road trip coming up starting Tuesday. And it was a really fun week against the Lugnuts in which the Loons got their first walk-off home run since May of 2023.
Pitch to Geloff. Swings and drives it deep to left field. That ball is on its way, and it is gone! It's been a long time for the Loons to end it on a long ball.
Great Lakes a half game over Lake County for that final playoff spot in the East Division currently. Start a 6-game road series with Wisconsin on Tuesday. First pitch is at 7:40. Pregame coverage at 7:25 on the Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt's Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Allie Huntoon, the director and founder of Allied HR Solutions and Allied Group Fitness.
Lean on people I trust to help me get through things too. If I know that I'm overwhelmed or I need support with something, I usually try to reach out. Sometimes I'm still trying to do things all myself, and that's a learning curve too. Delegation is your friend. I'm learning that.
Something I definitely do.
So I think it's leaning on your team. I think it's putting things into perspective. Even though HR is very important and we have things all the time that come up with terminations or discrimination or harassment.
Listen to the full interview with Allie on YouTube on 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
Hey, did you guys catch anything yet?
Not a thing.
Bummer, neither have we. I'm actually just about to head into town. I'm going to go into Higher Standards Automotive. They got this award-winning service department with amazing technicians and this large parts department in case I want to fix it myself. They got the part there.
Whatever.
No, I'm serious, man. It's out there.
Yeah, just like when you tried to convince me Bigfoot was real.
Ray?
Bigfoot's behind me, isn't he?
Yeah, we got it. Run! Get out! Stop into Higher Standards Automotive, North Eastman Road in Midland, right past the mall.
I'm here with Matt Smith with Modern Realty. All right, Matt, forecast 2025 for us.
Well, in 2025, I believe you're going to see a much more balanced market. We've been in a seller's market for a number of years. We're still not busting at the seams with inventory, but we are seeing the market start to balance out a little bit. That means it's still a really good time to get great value out of your home. But for the buyers out there, it also means that your path to home ownership should be a little bit easier.
A beautiful yard increases both the value of your home and the quality of your life. Commercially, landscaping creates a positive impression of your professionalism and commitment to community, customers, and employees. Cervinsky Sod has been creating and maintaining outdoor spaces for 56 years. Whether your project is residential or commercial, the team at Cervinsky Sod Services will work with you to build and meet budgets and finish the job with top quality and in a timely manner. To get a quote, call 989-835-4810 or visit ServinskySodService.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show is brand new, and to celebrate, we want to make sure one listener is a big winner every Wednesday.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
Every Wednesday this summer at 10:15 a.m., we're giving away 2 tickets to your favorite Major League Baseball team, the Detroit Tigers. This is your chance to head to Comerica Park on us, and thanks to our friends over at Garber Chevrolet Midland. Again, Detroit Tigers tickets every Wednesday at 10:15 a.m. on the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters?
Yeah.
100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
989-837-6125. Welcome back into the Ben Bosscher Show. We'll get to some Mitt messages in a little bit, but for now, let's hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
Okie dokie, Ben. Let's hit the news.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of stuff going on in the news today. Is indeed. Okay, let's start off with, obviously, more Tigers action tonight. Once again, Game 2 is at 7:40. It's Jack Flaherty versus... We don't know yet because it's a question mark for the White Sox right now. Yesterday, they obviously had the opener with Elvis Peguero, so I don't know if they're going to go with a similar route today. But right now, we don't know, so we'll see what a Tigers lineup looks like. How about yesterday, though, Kerry Carpenter getting couple at-bats against a lefty, huh?
Ah, I know.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
A rarity.
It was cool for Hinch to leave him in because the White Sox tried to play chess with bringing in the lefty to face Kerry Carpenter, and even though you knew a righty was going to come back in later in the game, Hinch just said, nah, I'm going to keep him in for a while.
You don't play chess with the chess master unless you want to get your butt kicked. And A.J. Hinch is the chess master in Major League Baseball.
Yes, absolutely. Let's talk about some new MLB pipeline news. We got a brand new MLB.com an updated top 100, including updating all the top 30 prospects for each team because they finally added in the 2025 draft picks. So as far as Tigers rankings go in the top 100, Ben, the Tigers now have 4 prospects in the top 35 of the MLB.com rankings. It's the only top 4, or it's the only 4 that they have in the top 100 at all. Kevin McGonigal, number 2. Max Clark back into the top 10 at number 9. Josue Briseño has now become the Tigers' 3rd overall prospect. He's 32nd ranked overall. And Bryce Rayner, despite being injured, has jumped up to 35.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lorenzo no longer on the list?
Lorenzo not a top 100 guy. No, he is still the Tigers' 5th overall prospect, but not a top 100 guy.
Do you think now that he's not a top 100 guy and they got to redo the trade deadline, he'd be available? Because Scott Harrell, we're not trading a top 100 prospect?
Maybe, honestly. He might go back and redo that. And then as far as the Tigers' specific rankings go, Jordan Yost, who was their first-round pick this year, is their new number 9 overall prospect. And then I figure might as well toss in a little local news here. Josue DePaula is up to number 12 overall in the MLB Top 100. This is the first updated ranking they've done since, obviously, that Futures game that he went off in. And then Zaire Hope is up to number 19 overall. So 2 top 20 guys here in Midland right now. So that's pretty cool.
McGonigal being 2 has got to be... I don't want to call it crazy, but... If you would have said 6 months ago that Max Clark wouldn't be the top guy in the system, it'd probably be like, he had a bad year. That's not what happened at all.
No,
Kevin
Clark
McGonigal has just blown every expectation for him out of the water.
MLB Pipeline also now has his ETA year as 2026 rather than 2027. They have him, because him and Clark have both been as a 2027 ETA guys for their whole career. They now think McGonigal will be up some point next year. That's obviously all just prediction-based.
I think both of them are going to be up at some point next season.
Oh, you think so?
At some point, yeah.
I don't know, man. I think it depends on how this season ends.
There's a better route for McGonigal to get there just because of the lack of shortstops.
Right.
Like, he'd be competing with Trey Sweeney for a roster spot. With Clark, there's just a lot of outfielders. Granted, none of them can stay healthy, so maybe that's actually the avenue. A couple injuries, and all of a sudden
right
you're calling. That's what I'm saying. So, but if everyone's healthy, there's just an abundance of outfielders. They've just never been healthy altogether at the same time this season. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. But McGonigal being 2 is wild. It really is.
It really is, man. Shout out to him. Connor Griffin's still number 1 on MLB.com.
You want to know? You want to know what McGonigal's doing? You know, just some raw numbers in
Erie. Let's hear it.
278 average, and 877 OPS. He's played in 21 games and has hit 2 bombs.
Nice. Sounds pretty good. And then your boy, Max Anderson, is leaving Erie. He's headed to AAA Toledo, Ben. That's big news. Sounds like he's doing pretty good.
Yep. Untouchable.
Yep.
Can't trade that guy. No chance.
Indeed. All right, let's do some college football news because this is pretty interesting. In Week 0, that game in Ireland, Ben, Iowa State versus Kansas State, with the new AP poll coming out, Iowa State ranked 22nd, Kansas State ranked 17th. This is the first ranked v. ranked Week 0 matchup in over 20 years.
Really?
Since 2002, it's the first time we've had a top 25 matchup go down, and it's in Ireland as well. Usually it's like Notre Dame versus one of those other teams that's not ranked usually, but... yeah, we get a top 25 ranked matchup here in Week 0. Should be pretty fun.
What's the date of that one?
Oh, I don't know.
Is it it's not the 30th, is it?
It's the early 20th one. It's
23rd?
Yes, that would be that day. Yes,
that's a week from Saturday. We get real college football. You've got to be kidding.
Week and a half.
You've got to be joking.
Isn't that crazy?
Are you joking? We've got real college. We got a ranked college football game, and what would that be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. In 11 days, we have a ranked college football game. Oh, my God.
What was those middle numbers? Okay, moving on. More college football news. Alabama has named their starting quarterback. It's Ty Simpson, the redshirt junior. He's been there for all 4 years of his college career. Played as a backup a couple times, but he wins the job over true freshman Keelan Russell and sophomore Austin Mack, who apparently were both been shining at camp. I don't know if you remember, we saw Ty Simpson 2 years ago in that game where Bama went to South Florida. This is really weird that I'm bringing this up. Do you remember that, though? I just vividly remember that because they went on the road to South Florida, which was a very random thing for Alabama to do. And Jalen Milroe was terrible in the game, got benched. Ty Simpson came in and won him the game, and we haven't really seen him since then. So
yeah, and then they bring back Milroe, and all of a sudden Milroe was awesome the next season.
Well,
I kind of remember that now that you're bringing it up.
Yeah, it was just the only reason I remember is because why did Alabama go on the road to South Florida? That's the only reason why I remember it. But yeah, Ty Simpson going to be the starter for the Crimson Tide this season. NFL news. 49ers are eyeing a Week 6 return for Brandon Ayuk. That sounds pretty good based on what we had heard earlier this offseason, that Ayuk might miss a large chunk of the season. Should just be the first 5 or 6 weeks, so that's big news for a team that's dealing with a ton of wide receiver injuries at the moment. Juwan Jennings injured. Ricky Pearsall is dealing with some stuff. So they need to get these guys healthy.
49ers open with Seattle, which you never really know between those two teams,
Yeah.
divisional game. And then New Orleans and Arizona, another divisional game. Their toughest stretch of the season. Well, I was going to say their toughest stretch of the season actually is those first 6 weeks. So we'll see. Maybe.
Really?
I would say so, even though New Orleans is included
They got
in that.
such an easy schedule.
Yeah. But they get the Rams and the Bucks week 5 and 6.
Okay.
The last chunk of their schedule is a joke. Listen to this. They've got a week. This is just insane. They close with week 12 Carolina, week 13 Cleveland, week 14 bye, week 15 Tennessee, week 16 Indianapolis, week 17 Chicago, and week 18 Seattle. They might not lose a game the last 7 weeks of the season.
Do I have to give up on my selling 49ers stock? Do I have to rebuy it back?
Are you cutting? Are you losing investments?
Man. Well, I'm just I'm starting to realize this Rams thing is I'm not so confident as I have been. Then you look at that 49ers schedule and you're like, maybe they will be good. Who knows?
Who knows?
More NFL
news. Maybe it's the Cardinals. Maybe they take a huge step up.
Maybe Big Marv has a big year. We'll see.
Maybe Will Johnson has a big year.
Marv, lifted.
Marv, who's been blanketed by Will Johnson in camp.
Right. Myles Garrett, Ben, cited for driving 100 miles per hour in a 60-mile-per-hour zone at 2 in the morning yesterday.
What?
Yeah, crazy stuff. Myles Garrett this is not the first time he's gotten in some car-related, trouble, I guess you could say. He's done this before. A couple of years ago, got pulled over for going 50 and a 25 or something. So, yeah, Myles Garrett just decided to speed like crazy last night. It's just a typical NFL player thing,
These guys can't help themselves sometimes. In the car, they pedal to the metal. And
What are we doing, man? It's training camp. It's preseason going on. There's just no need for that.
Here's my bigger question. What are you doing out at 2 in the morning?
Right. That's also a pretty good question as well. Cam Hayward hints at sitting out into the season over his contract dispute with the Steelers. He told Adam Schefter yesterday, he could see himself missing some regular season games if that's what it takes to get this new contract with Pittsburgh. He's just got to be jealous, right? I mean, they're paying out everybody, and he's been there forever, and they're not paying him.
He has 2 years left on his deal. Why is he being such a weirdo about this?
He's old, too.
He's 36 years. Granted, he was awesome last season.
He's still really good, but he's also been I thought he was going to retire after last year, he's been in that conversation forever.
Now that I'm looking at the money,
he's underpaid for sure. He's the 18th highest paid defensive tackle. I mean, that's kind of wild.
It's just not a lot of guaranteed money. That's the thing. Does he want a new contract or just an adjustment to it? Because there's no way they're extending him right now.
I would guess he just wants it changed so that he gets paid more, right? I would assume
more
that's
guaranteed.
That's what I would guess. I do want to add this in before we end the news segment because it's a Detroit-related thing. Detroit City FC, the soccer club in Detroit, has unveiled renderings for their new stadium, which is going to be called Alumni Phi Field. New stadium will open in 2027 in Southwest Detroit. I saw some pictures of this on Twitter. So, yeah, that's pretty big news because I know that there's some soccer fans that want the them to push to get a new MLS team or to get an MLS team in Detroit. So I don't know if this stadium's going to, hold enough people to get to the qualifications for that or anything.
Sure, looks like it will.
Yeah, but it's definitely making progress towards that. So
this looks awesome. The campus of it looks awesome. A little bit away from the city, but you see the city
Southwest
in the background.
Detroit, yeah, but still,
born and raised in.
Okay. That ends things.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people ask me. I guess there's only been a couple people. When are you going to talk about Detroit FC?
We just did.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah.
Duh. We've been waiting for the new stadium photos.
Yeah,
to
that
drop.
was the only reason why we weren't doing it.
Yeah. All right, 989-837-6125. Jokes aside, though, this actually does look pretty sweet. And I would.
Yeah, it does.
If this actually opens up, and I would actually have interest in checking this out. I'm not a huge soccer person.
They'll pack it out, too. It will be a vibe in there for sure.
I was talking to Jesse and Adam, the Lugnets play-by-play guys, because Adam went to a soccer game over in Europe. If I was going to go over to Europe, which I'd want to do at some point, you have to go to a soccer game, right? You have to go experience.
Just to experience that, yeah, the mass amount of people all so dedicated. Yeah.
Yeah, no one's on their phone.
Yeah, I mean, that's different than it's different than a football game for sure.
989-837-6125. We'll get to a couple Mitt messages when we come back. And also, does this player have a case that they're the best player on their team? It's one Detroit's player. That's your hints. 989-837-6125. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Fueled by wonder and powered by science. At Dow, we're imagining better things for our customers and communities. It starts with our commitment to reach carbon neutrality by 2050, designing, building, and inspiring for the world around us. Because when we wonder, the things our world needs could be just one breakthrough away. That's Dow.
At Tommy's Express, you can get your car clean, shiny and dry in just minutes. Our state-of-the-art eco-friendly wash delivers a spotless finish every time. With the Tommy Club app, enjoy unlimited washes or paper wash. Skip the line with license plate recognition and manage everything right from your phone. Fast, clean, and simple. Visit Tommy's Express today and see the difference. Text CLEAN CARD to 86697 for a free works wash.
Offer valid for new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies.
Celebrate the 75th anniversary of a Peanuts Christmas with the Great Lakes Loons on Friday, August 29th. Relive the heartwarming classic in a festive atmosphere filled with nostalgia and holiday cheer. The team will also wear Peanuts-inspired jerseys that fans can bid on during a live online auction. For tickets, head to loons.com. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loons staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader. From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt. This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
All right, folks, let's get started. Parents, thanks for coming. As many of you know, I'm Coach Mather. Tonight I want to talk about the season, of which I only have one expectation: that everybody gets stronger. When I say get stronger, I'm not referring solely to physical strength. Sure, we'll be in the weight room, we'll be running stairs, but we're also going to focus on developing mental toughness and grit, because those are the characteristics that allow us to achieve greatness both on and off the court. So, how do we develop those things? By getting comfortable with a challenge, by cultivating the confidence necessary to overcome adversity in all forms. That's why I coach. That's my purpose. Every member of this team can lean on me, and I'll teach them how they can lean on themselves and each other.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Happy Tuesday. Welcome back in. It's the Ben Bosscher Show. Let's get to a couple Mitt messages here. First one. Whoa, I thought you were selling your jersey stock, Ben. This texter must be watching the YouTube stream.
Hey.
I never sold my jersey stock. That was Brad and Kyle.
No, I bought. That was Brad and John.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm Kyle. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
I bought jersey stock yesterday. I'm all in on the jerseys. How do you like that jersey, though? Panay Sewell, black jersey, by the way, for people listening on 100.9 The Mitt.
It came in the mail a couple days ago. I received it yesterday. I've got a story about that a little bit later.
Okay.
But I love it, man. I threw it on. I threw it on, and I don't think I've taken it off since. It's so sweet.
Yeah, it is so sweet.
This one's from Brandon, listening down in Louisville. Do you guys think, is it Urquidy makes the playoff roster? It's been on IL for the most part this season. Also, thoughts on Parker Meadows. Is he dependable enough to where we start him in a playoff game or use him as a role player? Personally, I think the Tigers are better without him. I think you got to give him another chance here in the regular season, assuming he's back semi-soon. But if the production doesn't take a pretty big step up, I'm actually pretty comfortable putting Javi Baez out in center field. Or Matt Vierling, for that matter, if he can heat up too. I think that starting center field spot is kind of up for grabs still in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which is not a great position to be in, because ideally it's Parker Meadows for everything else he does and how great he is defensively. But
he's also been injured for quite some time now, and his hot start, like this time last year, had already begun. You know, so it's not quite there yet, obviously, because he's not here at the moment. Yeah, if Meadows is healthy, he's on the playoff roster. Like, absolutely. It's just the fact of, is he starting every day in center field with a righty on the mound? Probably. But like
I don't think it's a guarantee.
Yeah, like it's definitely up for grabs, I would say. As far as Urquidy goes, I really hope that Jose Urquidy is healthy once we get to playoff time. It was an under-the-radar signing this offseason. They knew he was going to be injured coming into the year, but was a strikeout machine a couple years ago with the Astros and had been connected with A.J. Hinch previously. Didn't have a good year 2 years ago with Houston, like I said, has been injured for a really long time.
He didn't play at all in 24.
Right. Like I said, they knew he was going to be injured coming into the season as well. But if he can, he's been rehabbing. So if he could potentially be back by then, which is probably a bigger hope than like an Alex Cobb at this point, would just be a nice addition to have on the roster over a Rafael Montero or someone else.
What's up with Scott Harris fantasizing about signing guys that are hurt and won't be back until midway or at all through the season.
Well, the Urquidy thing was like, no one else is going to sign him. Sure, we'll sign him to a minor league deal. Like, he was never expected to be on the team right away like Alex Cobb was.
Yeah, I don't think Alex Cobb was going to be signed by literally anybody else for that much money.
That's what I'm saying about Urquidy. They didn't have to actually pay him like they did Alex Cobb.
I don't think they had to pay Alex Cobb is my point. Like, who on earth was giving him $15 million? It truly makes zero sense why they had to give him that much money. And there's no salary cap, so it's not like it's hindering like the ability to make another move. But you know how this organization works. Like, they're not going to hand out money that they don't have to, and that's exactly what they did with the Cobb contract. And I don't know, I'd say
no update on Alex
70% chance he doesn't play at all this season.
Yeah, I would say maybe probably 2/3 chance, whatever that percent is.
I think it's 66.
Oh, okay.
67%. Yeah, it's one of the black holes on Scott Harris's roster.
There's no way
he
comes back. There's just no way he comes back.
Had another rehab start last week.
Like I said, if you actually watch the clips of his rehab start, your confidence level goes down 1,000%.
I haven't watched any of the clips from his rehab starts, but any quote that he has afterwards where he's like, yeah, just my hips really hurt still. It's like, oh, that makes me feel really good about him ever pitching in a Tigers uniform. Just kidding. 989-837-6125. So back to what we were talking about at the beginning of the show, with Spencer Torkelson and how consistent he's been, and now he's one home run away from tying Riley Green for the most on the team at 27. That's where Green's at right now. Tork hit his 26th yesterday. And obviously Torkelson's just swinging the bat in general better than Riley Green right now. They've already kind of started, and I don't know if this is going to stick around. You don't think it will, but they have shown some signs that they're willing to take Riley Green out of the lineup against the lefty. They had that all-righty lineup over the weekend. Now I think he's sat 3 times just in the second half of the season since the All-Star break after sitting only twice in the first half. I don't think that's going to continue to happen, but one thing I do know is Torkelson's just never coming out of the lineup. He doesn't really have off days. He hits versus righties and lefties. Would you at all be surprised if by the end of the season, maybe Torkelson doesn't have as many hits or have as high as a batting average, but I mean, right now, Kyle, Torkelson and Green have the exact same OPS at 820. He's one shy of him in home runs. I wouldn't be shocked if Spencer Torkelson actually ended up having the best raw stats in terms of the OPS, the power, the slugging, the home runs. And maybe we get to October and the Tigers are walking into a playoff series and it's like, secretly Torkelson might have had the best offensive season of any Tiger this year, despite Riley Green getting the All-Star nod for the second consecutive year.
Yeah, that's something I really haven't considered. I mean, especially if you bring up like you said earlier, he's been really good in August the last 2 years. That's been like his big month.
Yeah, 9 home runs in 23 and then the 945 OPS last year.
Right. I think the counter to that would be, well, Riley Green is officially out of this terrible slump that he was in. Yeah, he's going to continue to strike out, but you would assume the rest of his numbers continue to rise the rest of the season after they plummeted for that month. So I would still lean Riley Green just because I think those numbers are going to continue to grow as this season ends, and he still does have the lead in home runs, and the OPSs are similar, but Riley Green's has been higher all year. So I would go with Riley Green, but Torkelson for sure has a shot. Still has 20-plus more RBIs, too, Riley Green does.
Well, I think that's just because Riley Green at the beginning of the season was just in that prime spot in the lineup every single day. Whether it was a 3 or 4 hole, sometimes it was 2.
I mean, they're basically right next to each other back-to-back in the lineup like all year.
Yeah, and Riley Green was always clearing the bases, and then Torkelson wouldn't have anybody on. If Torkelson continues to be in this 3 spot or 4 spot, depending on the day, like almost in a way is taking Green's spot in the lineup, then I guess I wouldn't be surprised if he can close in on him a little bit. It'd be a lot of work to make up in a short amount of time, but it's the consistency for me. Like, I think at this point, I know what I'm getting when Torkelson steps in the box. It's someone who, strikes out a little bit, but can draw some walks and brings a lot of power to the table. Maybe never hits for average, but is always a threat to hit a bomb, whether there's a righty or lefty on the mound. It's not like there's a dark hole in his game the way that there is with Riley right now in terms of the case. And I still think Riley's the face of the franchise, but hey, Torkelson was that 1.01 overall pick, and it's like, if he can really have another awesome August like he has had the last 2 months, I don't think it's off the table for him to catch him at least in home runs. And that's what we've got some people saying in the YouTube chat right now as well. Tork, steady, consistent. I think he's got a chance to outrun Riley Green in home runs. I also think he could just outrun Riley Green. Just foot race.
Yeah, I think most people could, probably.
I think you and I might be able to. 989-837-6125. Dan Campbell. Where does he rank amongst coaches in the NFL? That is next here. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Transform your outdoor space with Maple Hill Nursery. Whether you're a gardening enthusiast or just looking to relax in style, they have everything you need. From premium polywood furniture that never needs painting to top quality plants and trees, Maple Hill Nursery has it all. Plus, they offer free setup and delivery on in-stock barbecue grills. Visit them today just north of Midland Mall or check out their website for pro tips and expert advice. Maple Hill Nursery, making your yard the place to be.
The Michigan Baseball Foundation is more than just baseball. It's a driver of economic growth and community. Operating one of the nation's top minor league stadiums, MBF supports job creation and regional development. Through creative partnerships and charitable giving, MBF has helped bring projects like Dow Diamond, the East End Development, Fairfield Inn and Suites, the Plaza, and the Dow Bay Area Family YMCA to life, generating over $23 million annually in economic impact. Every Great Lakes Loons ticket supports these efforts. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
Celebrate the 75th anniversary of a Peanuts Christmas with the Great Lakes Loons on Friday, August 29th. Relive the heartwarming classic in a festive atmosphere filled with nostalgia and holiday cheer. The team will also wear Peanuts-inspired jerseys that fans can bid on during a live online auction. For tickets, head to loons.com. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic? Yeah. We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
Bel Air Brown, Dragon's Milk, Mad Hatter, Purple Gang, and Huma Loopalicious. These are names that let the imagination run wild and let the taste buds take a stroll. Welcome to the craft beer craze in Michigan. Bolstered by the Great Lakes and nurtured by the glacier-rich soil, here awaits a brewer's paradise. With fresh hops growing tall in the old Mission Peninsula and fresh barley fields sweeping the mitten, Michigan ranks 5th in the nation in the number of breweries, microbreweries, and brew pubs. From Good Harbor Golden to Whitefish Bay Wheat, from Motown Lager all the way to Park Bench Porter, Michigan is serving up a frosty glass of perfection. Whether you want to take in a game with a Two-Hearted Ale or just sit on a front porch sipping a Steelhead Red, let's tap into life at its fullest and treat ourselves to a taste that's pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Hey, 989-837-6125. Welcome back in hour number 2, Ben Bosscher Show, live on 100.9 The Mitt, live on Facebook, live on YouTube as well. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. With that being said, I want to talk about Dan Campbell, because Dan Campbell's now in a position where we talked about how much pressure's on Jared Goff yesterday, but there's also a lot of pressure on Dan Campbell. He goes a different route in terms of hiring his new coordinators, doesn't really do a full search. Like, it's one thing to hire internal guys. It's one thing to not really interview anyone from elsewhere and not really do a full coaching search to replace him. Because ideally, you go through a lot of different candidates, There should be people left and right that want to interview for the Lions offensive coordinator job. I mean, hell, look at all the talent that's on the offense. Look at all the talent that's on the defense, for that matter. And it always did feel like Calvin Shepard was going to get this job. That was kind of written in the stars. Even a couple of years ago, it felt like that was always going to be the long-term replacement for Aaron Glenn. But Dan Campbell, at the end of the day, elected to not really do this whole search to replace the two guys. And for that reason, I think if anything goes poorly on offense or defense, it's not really going to be pointed to Calvin Shepard. It's not really going to be pointed to John Morton. Fingers are going to be pointed to Dan Campbell. For that reason, there's pressure on him. For reasons that remain not unclear, reasons that remain very clear, actually, I still think he's one of the 10 best coaches in the NFL. But I wanted to pin the number down exactly to how many coaches either of us would take ahead of Dan Campbell. I think you start with Andy Reid. That's it's unarguable. He's the best coach in the league. Sean McVay, I think, is another no-brainer. He also brings the culture that Dan Campbell does, not to the extent, but 80% of it, and also is a genius play caller. You don't have to worry about replacing your offensive coordinator. Fair. Totally fair. Those, to me, are the two best coaches in the league, kind of in a tier of their own, maybe even each in a tier of their own. Are you on board with that, or is there someone else you throw into this?
Well, I do agree that McVay is one of the best coaches in the league, but, Dan Campbell has just done he's just beaten Sean McVay every time they've matched up. Well, I guess that year one, they didn't beat him, but I understand that's not, everything that goes into coaching and everything, but,
No.
What else is he supposed to do to prove he's a better coach, you know?
Dan Campbell or Sean McVay?
Dan Campbell.
What do you mean, what is there to prove?
He's beaten Sean McVay in, several high-leverage situations.
Sean McVay's also went to 2 different Super Bowls with 2 different quarterbacks and won one of them.
I understand, but if we're doing a one-for-one matchup here, you know what I'm just throwing a case out there.
I respect it, but I don't think head-to-head records when there's that few games matter. Because he's 1-2. Dan Campbell's 2-1 against him.
I think so.
So, okay, but
playoff game.
I think there's still a lot of questions that remain for what Dan Campbell does as an offensive play caller. And I know he's not calling plays this year, but I think this year we'll have a pretty big idea of how involved Dan Campbell is on the offense.
We can give it to McVay. I'm just throwing out the case for Dan Campbell.
I just think anyone that's not a Lions fan would say that's outrageous to throw Dan Campbell into that conversation. And you're going into year 5, where McVay's been doing it for 8 years now.
Okay. No, just keep going then. Keep going.
The Harbaughs both have to be considered. John has been doing it long enough, and Jim has enough pedigree to where anywhere he's been, they've just won.
See, but Jim Harbaugh's year 1 with the Chargers.
But think about everything he did with the 49ers.
Sure, but
that was that comes into consideration. It comes into consideration what he did at Michigan.
We're taking in consideration what happened 15 years ago?
What do you only want to look at what's happened the past 2?
I don't know.
Does it not matter what he did at Michigan in terms of how we talk about him as coach?
That's not in the NFL.
I'm just talking about coaching straight up.
Who
are
the
best coaches
in Michigan?
Oh my God.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
What, do you not think Belichick should be one of the best coaches of all time because of
We're not
some of that
talking about
stuff?
best coaches of all time. We're talking
what
about
are we talking about then?
Aren't we doing best coaches in the league?
Yes, right now.
Yeah, and you're telling me a guy that has been back for 1 year is better than Dan Campbell.
Made the playoffs in year 1? That's pretty impressive.
Oh, great. He made the playoffs. Congrats, dude. So did Dan Campbell.
Not in year 1.
Whatever, man.
I haven't even told you whether or not I think Dan Campbell's ahead of him yet. I'm just talking out loud right now, saying that Jim and John Harbaugh need to at least be in the conversation around Dan Campbell.
I just knew you were going to bring it up. That's all I'm saying. Keep going, though.
Shanahan's a funny one because Kyle Shanahan also considered this offensive play, this play calling genius, but can't come back in the fourth quarter. It needs to be playing with a lead. Has never really had the quarterback other than, I guess, Brock Purdy can be considered one of these guys now that he's been paid. But there's just been too many fourth quarters that have been blown or lack of comebacks that have happened for me to feel comfortable putting Sean McVay in the tier of anyone else I've just named.
You mean Shanahan?
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan.
Even though he's like developed all these coaches, which is kind of hilarious.
Yes.
Well, not developed them, but just, has like the legendary coaching tree or whatever.
Everyone takes his general concepts and just they're a little bit smarter in terms of what to do in a game. Like no one scripts a better game first quarter than Kyle Shanahan. But when you actually get to the fourth quarter and you got to start making adjustments, I don't think he's that good at that.
Also, has just lost like a lot of very important games in the playoffs.
I'd argue he's lost every important game in the playoffs, essentially.
Right. Well,
Like
it did come back to beat the Lions, but
yeah. That was more of a self-implosion than it was any coaching adjustments.
I think I would agree with that.
Penalties,
fumbles, face
fumbles,
masks,
helmets, or footballs bouncing off face masks, if
Right.
that's what you were implying.
Yes, I was.
Where does the jury lay on Mike Tomlin these days?
That's a tough one. I was just thinking about
one.
that. Man, I was just thinking about that. And look, I have kind of been the Mike Tomlin hater of sorts.
Right, because him and Tom Izzo have had the same career.
You agreed that was over, by the way.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I'm done.
Just saying. Look, Mike Tomlin is I don't think he can be higher than Dan Campbell, but also, I mean, Dan Campbell hasn't won a Super Bowl, but like the Steelers have lost, I think, 5 straight playoff games. Like, but it does say something to make the playoffs every year in the NFL. I will say, like, that says a lot. So if you do take Tomlin over Dan Campbell, sure. I think he also is one of the more elite culture guys in the league. Just seems like one of the better player coaches in the league, Mike Tomlin is, even though there is always some, like, weird issues going on with the guys in Pittsburgh, so maybe not. The receivers always seem to have some drama going on.
As I've stated, I think Pittsburgh's getting like 6 wins this year. 7 wins, maybe. I just don't think they're very good.
If he can – but then you look at the team, like, the last couple years, and you're like, man, he got Kenny Pickett to the playoffs?
Yeah, I think there's a real case that Aaron Rodgers is a worse quarterback than Kenny Pickett was 2 years ago this season.
Wow, really? Wow. I mean, I'm not high on Rodgers, but that's an insult.
He's 40. This doesn't happen. There's zero evidence outside of Tom Brady that this is going to work.
Right.
And Tom Brady's the anomaly. I'm just very pessimistic about the idea of anyone that's putting real expectations on Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers, I think is a little bit out of their minds.
But how are they out of their minds if they make the playoffs every year, And, like, they probably got better as a team this offseason. I would think so. Just from the additions that they've made. I'm not, like, saying I'm in on the Steelers, but I don't think it's crazy to say, yeah, they're going to go 9-8 again.
Well, I think they're the third best team in their division, and I think there's
They
2
are
other
every
teams in
year.
the AFC West that seem a lot better than them. 3 other teams in the AFC West.
Yeah.
I'd be pretty shocked if they made the playoffs.
So are you? But going back to Tomlin, Campbell, where are you leaning?
Campbell.
I think I am too, but if you make the case for Tomlin, I'm not that upset about it.
Better case for Tomlin or Jim Harbaugh? Oh, my God.
That's tough. No comment.
I would take Harbaugh over him straight up. Not Dan Campbell. I'm still on the fence about that one. And then the other person that would come to mind is some people would make the argument for Sirianni, but I know the Super Bowl, like, you have to at least acknowledge it. And he got the team to come together after the team completely fell apart under his own watch. So if he wants credit for that, I guess you can take it.
Has
but you're
gone
kind
to
of
2 Super Bowls as well. Like,
also kind of the reason the team imploded and by far the most talented roster in the league. So
he's a tough one to grade for sure.
I would take Dan Campbell.
What
over
about
him.
Sean Payton?
Who I'd probably take Sean Payton over Dan Campbell too.
I'm just trying to think
from
of
a
other
legacy
guys
standpoint. He's just proven to be able to win with anything other than Russell Wilson.
The legacy stuff is just hard because it's like Dan Campbell doesn't have the option to do this legacy stuff. Like, we have to grade him based on what he's been so far, which is probably the best coach in Lions history.
But I think when you talk about coaches, the legacy stuff does matter.
No, I understand that, but like it's,
more so than
it's
players.
Unfair to a guy like Dan Campbell to bring that into consideration, right?
It is, but is there anyone that actually would take Dan Campbell over Sean Payton other than like the Fords and Brad Holmes? Probably not. Anyone would rather just have Sean Payton.
I don't know.
Because it's not like Sean Payton like lacks the culture. Like Dan Campbell gets talked about with the culture so much, like no other team has great culture. Like, there's a lot of coaches that bring an awesome culture to the table, and I think Sean Payton's definitely one of them. And
Yeah,
now
but
it just
Dan
seems like
Campbell
I'm doing
brought-
an anti-Dan Campbell thing. But
Dan Campbell brought a culture to a franchise that didn't have one for 30 years.
Correct.
You know, like that's why that it gets talked about so much.
And I do think it's probably the best or second best, like in that tier of top cultures in the NFL. But I just think there are a couple other coaches that do a very similar thing to that. That just, it doesn't get talked about because they're also calling plays. Like Sean Payton is a perfect example of that. Everything out of the Broncos camp is like, oh yeah, like they're ready to go. It's like he's also a great play caller. So yeah, I don't know how anyone could make that.
Any love for Pete Carroll with the Raiders? If you're doing all this legacy stuff?
No, probably not.
Oh, come on. You're not throwing him into the conversation with this legacy stuff?
No, because he's over the threshold of like, oh, he's like really old.
So Andy Reid is really old. Bill Belichick was really old.
Yeah, and Bill Belichick kind of lost his fastball at the end.
Man, I don't understand the approach you're taking here, dude.
Really, it's just a feel out, you know?
What about, I think some under the radar guys, like a Todd Bowles with Tampa Bay, I think is one of the more underrated coaches. I'm not saying he's better than Dan Campbell.
No, I don't think so too, but I totally am aligned with you that just the Buccaneers organization in general, one of the more underrated ones across the league.
Absolutely.
Consistent.
And then, I mean, like, O'Connell deserves love, but no way you're putting him over Dan Campbell because, once again, Dan Campbell has just owned him.
But O'Connell, Coach of the Year, 1. Dan Campbell, Coach of the Year, 0.
Right. Announced immediately after that Week 18 game, by the way.
So stupid.
It's very stupid.
So stupid. That's probably it. Some idiot Packers fan would probably make the argument for Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, well, sure, dude.
It's their same argument as like
double-digit wins the first 3 years.
Dude, it's the same argument as Jordan Love being the best quarterback in the NFC North. Like, okay, man, sure. Whatever. Let the Packers fans believe what they want to believe. That's probably it, right?
On paper, though, LaFleur does have a pretty good case. I will say, like, on paper, it's pretty good. He's only missed the playoffs one time as the Packers coach. Kind of impressive.
There's also someone in the division that owns him, which I think, like, if you're going to be considered one of these top coaches, you can't be owned by another coach. And Dan Campbell has certainly owned Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, I would agree.
Are we missing anybody? I think that's it.
I think that's it. So, I mean, he's probably somewhere in the what? Like, right outside the top 5?
Yeah. Yeah. I think the coaches that would take over Dan Campbell are Andy Reid, Sean Payton, Sean McVay, and both the Harbaughs. And that's it. Yeah.
So that would put him right around 5?
That would put him at 6. Unless there's one more. And then he could be 7.
What do you mean by that?
989-837-6125. Let's see what you guys think. You guys can text in 989-837-6125. Carson said, tell him, Kyle, MCDC over Sean McVay. Ah, come on, guys.
I just like...
I can't get there with the McVay thing. He's like clearly number 2 in the NFL.
Is, if we're doing a 1-for-1, the fact that you're just like not even considering the fact that Dan Campbell beat him in the playoffs... but you're just like, it's not even, I'm not here saying Campbell's better, but you're just like not even considering it. Like, just who cares about the playoff game, right? Let's talk about play calling. You know, like what? Isn't the point
what I'm saying.
Isn't the point of coaching to win the games?
Yes, and I think the Lions the Lions were favored in that game, right? Against the Rams. Like, they had a better team.
The Lions hadn't won a playoff game in 30 years, dude.
That's not Dan Campbell's fault. Now you're making it feel like I'm attacking Dan Campbell. I'm not. I think the world of Sean McVay. I think any team across the league would sign up immediately, unless it's Kansas City, for him to be their coach for the next 20 years. And any owner that says otherwise is lying.
You think the Lions would get rid of Campbell if McVay was available?
No, I don't, actually.
There you go.
But I don't. The Rams would laugh if the Lions called up and were like, you guys want to trade coaches 1 for 1?
But McVay's also been like in this I'm going to retire thing for like 3 years randomly. So, like, he could just be available at some point, you know?
I guess, but I also don't really anticipate him retiring anymore. Do you?
Probably not. I think that was all just like a rumor about, like, he wanted it with his kids growing up or something like that. I don't remember.
All right, then let's ask the people this. How far can we take this thing? How high do you rank Dan Campbell amongst coaches in the NFL? Because I have him 6, and I feel like that's generous. How far do you guys want to take this? Do you think he's 2?
Is he top 5, top 3?
If he's better than Sean McVay, that to me is saying he's the second best coach in the NFL, which I think is a little bit egregious for a guy that has 2 playoff wins.
Once again, I'm not saying he's better than McVay, but the fact that you're just throwing out any chance of him being better, I think is a little bit irresponsible.
The best thing going for Dan Campbell, in my opinion, is how he basically started the trend of how aggressive teams are going to be on fourth down. Because that, he got so much criticism for that.
Yeah.
And then you saw the Commanders doing it. You saw the Bills doing
Everybody
it. You see
does
the Eagles do it. Everyone goes for it on fourth down ultra aggressively now. And he kind of set the tone for that because it was
the analytics, you know?
I thought it was the opposite of that. It's like analytics say you can shove it. Yeah, that's what Dan Campbell didn't say that. But he takes into consideration the analytics. But everything we've learned from him at his press conferences was, I just believe in our guys that we're going to pick up this 4th and 1. I believe in this offensive line. And he kind of threw the analytics out the window and said, we can do this. I don't really care what they say. That, I think, was like a huge revelation across the league in the last couple of years, because now you've seen a handful of teams kind of embrace that. And it works because, well, there's evidence of it. 989-837-6125. We'll take a trip around the league. When we come back, it's the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Whether you love them or can't stand them, surprises are a part of life. I'm Kevin Spencer, your Midland Edward Jones financial advisor, and I can help you get ready for whatever life throws at you, even the welcome surprises. As your needs change, we can change what you need to do to help you end up where you want to be. And while there is never a good time to experience unexpected costs, we can work together to make them feel a little less unexpected.
Edward Jones financial advisor Kevin Spencer at 416 West Wackerly in Midland, under the green awning.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. Let's clean up that yard. Save $3 instantly on select Roundup and Ortho weed killers. Save $10 on 64-ounce spruce, weed, and grass killer. You know what season it is? Grilling season. Free assembly and delivery on grills, $399 and up from brands like Weber and Traeger. Need that deck touched up? Do it and save $10 instantly on a gallon of Cabot exterior stain.
Hi, this is Jim Mahoney with Link Technologies. If you are a business or a nonprofit organization wondering how to navigate today's technologies landscape, let Link Technologies' talented staff work with you to develop a technology plan custom to your specific needs. We bring 27 years of experience helping businesses and nonprofit organizations just like yours achieve their technology goals. Contact us today and see how the right balance between cloud and on-premise resources can best work for you.
For 100 years, Forward Energy has been more than just a home heat and fuel provider. We've been a part of your community, and you've been a part of our family through every storm, every season, and every moment. We've been right here, keeping you warm and safe. As your hometown energy provider, we deliver more than just propane. We deliver peace of mind with reliable service, quality you can count on, and a commitment to always being there when you need us most. Forward Energy, 100 years strong, fueled by family, powered by community.
There are many ways to say Miller Lite has more taste and only one more calorie than Michelob Ultra. You could say it with your show choir buddies at your high school reunion.
Miller Lite is more taste and no one more calorie than Michelob Ultra.
However you say it, it's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2021 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer for 12 fluid ounces. Miller Lite, 96 calories, 3.2 carbs. Michelob Ultra, 95 calories, 2.6 carbs. Taste test performed by Institute for Perception, February 2018.
Celebrate the 75th anniversary of a Peanuts Christmas with the Great Lakes Loons on Friday, August 29th. Relive the heartwarming classic in a festive atmosphere filled with nostalgia and holiday cheer. The team will also wear Peanuts-inspired jerseys that fans can bid on during a live online auction. For tickets, head to loons.com. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
989-837-6125. Welcome back in. Ben Bosscher Show. It's time to take a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
All right, what do you got in store for us, Kyle?
Okay, Ben, we got a fun one today. ESPN keeps throwing us these fun little off-season NFL articles. So last night, they throw out 2025 NFL future power rankings, projections for all 32 teams. So they decided to basically rank the teams on the next 3 seasons, the prime to be the best. So we talk about windows all the time.
Yeah.
It's basically who is set up to be the best in a 3-year window from 2025 through 2027. And they did this on like a numbers scale ranking, basically, where they added up a bunch of things, which is overall roster, quarterback, coaching, front office. They gave those a score out of 100 and then averaged them out.
Okay.
So that is how they do this. Do you want to react to them or do you want to guess them?
I'll guess the top 10. Did they rank all 32?
They ranked all 32, yeah.
All right, let's
try to rank the worst one too.
Okay, Saints.
Oh, well,
they've got to be the last. They've got to be last.
Yeah, the
place.
Saints are last with an overall score of 63.
No future, no present, no past of the last few years.
And honestly, I don't really agree. The Giants are number 31.
No, because they've at least got that defensive line that they can
Right.
hang their hat on, and a rookie quarterback that you can like kind of sell to your fan base.
And I think if they're just the worst team in the league, and they're just like, actually, I know we drafted Dart, but like, let's just draft Garrett Nussmeier, and next thing you know, they might be good. You know.
And they've got neighbors. I don't like them.
I don't like that either.
Anyway, I'd rather talk about the good teams.
Yeah.
I'll go with the Lions here, even though it's going to start getting progressively harder with this Goff contract and all these players that they still have to pay, the 5 big ones. Really 6 big ones. 5 big ones, but they're probably going to pay Jack Campbell before one of, or at least some of these guys. So let me just get the Lions out of the way. They've got to be in the top 5.
Lions are number 5, actually.
Oh, look at that.
As far as where they rank in the 4 categories, their overall rosters rank 3rd. Their front office is ranked 4th. But quarterback and coaching each ranked at number 12. So, hey, we were talking about where Dan Campbell ranks. And I think coaching does include coordinators as well, which I don't know why that would count because not a lot of coordinators are there for 3 years straight. But, yeah, that's where the Lions are number 5.
The thing about some of the other teams is they don't have to worry about replacing their quote-unquote coordinator or whoever they want to fill in that role because a lot of teams had coaches
True,
to play
that's a good point.
Which I think, like, it's not a knock on Dan Campbell, but it's not a bonus.
Yeah, it's like an underrated thing about coaches that do it.
Right, because you don't have to replace them. Okay, then it's the Eagles have to be one of the top teams. If this is a 3-year thing, I mean, going into the year, this is the best roster, so let's go with the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles are number 1.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense. Ranked number 1 in overall roster, number 1 front office as well.
You know, it's pretty hard to not have the best quarterback in the league on this list, the Chiefs.
The Chiefs are number 3. Yes, They have number 1 quarterback, number 1 coaching staff, number 6 front office, number 7 overall roster.
You know what's really starting to like anger me? Seeing everybody put Josh Allen as the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah, your boy Bill Simmons did it
I
yesterday.
know, and it was I had to turn off his podcast because it was infuriating me.
Turn it off.
It was infuriating me. It's like people are out of their minds. It's like they've forgotten that this guy's gone to the Super Bowl each of the last 3 years. It's like they forgot that despite Rashee Rice and Hollywood Brown being out and their number 1 target being a rookie, a one-trick pony rookie in Xavier Worthy, and an old man dating a pop star in Travis Kelce, those being the most reliable guys on the offense with a horrendous offensive line, somehow he still dragged them to 15 wins because they had the number 1 third down conversion percentage in all of football because they have the best quarterback in the league, and they went to 3 straight Super Bowls. It's like somehow everyone's forgetting that because Josh Allen puts up a lot of fantasy points. It's annoying.
You done yet?
I'm done. Bills.
By the way, Taylor Swift on the New Heights podcast.
Yeah, I haven't watched one clip. I scroll past my timeline every time.
Who'd you say, Bills?
Yeah, let's go with the Bills.
Yeah, Bills are 4. Quarterback ranked 2nd. Everything else is ranked a little bit low, though. The quarterback ranking just really bolsters them up.
Yep.
Overall roster's 5. Coaching is 8. Front office is 9th. We didn't talk about Sean McDermott at all in the coaches thing.
He's a weird one.
Yeah, I think after what he said in the locker room a couple years back, it kind of changed his overall perspective.
Let's go with the Ravens. You got the quarterback.
Ravens are 2nd.
Got a young defense.
Yeah, front office is really good. Roster's really good. They're 2nd.
I don't love this, but the Packers probably are on here just because of how young they are.
The Green Bay Packers indeed are on here. They're 6th. Yeah, which, like you said, it makes sense. Their roster's really young.
But I think that gets overrated sometimes. It's like, oh, look at this, youngest roster in the league. But it's like, but how good are all these players?
They've also been good, though, too. I think that's what plays into it. Like, they're young and they've been good. So
that's the thing about the Packers, though. They're good. There's not a lot of great players on that roster,
but maybe with how young they are, some of them can become. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt here. 9th ranked quarterback, by the way, which is higher than Jared Goff. Just wanted to throw that out there.
I'll go with the see, the J.J. McCarthy factor might really bring this team back, but they have a great coach. They've got a great roster. Good GM. I'll guess the Vikings. I don't have any strikes. Why not?
Vikings are 11th.
Ooh,
first strike.
that's tough.
They got the coaching rank as number 5, by the way, in Kevin O'Connell. Well, it includes Brian Flores, too. But everything else is ranked pretty low, especially quarterback.
I'm trying to think of other, like, rookie guys still on the rookie contracts to where the Texans.
Yes. Yep, you're thinking the right way here. The Texans are 8th. The roster's really good. And their coaching staff.
What was their roster ranked?
Their roster's ranked 8th. Everything is right around 8th. Their roster's 8th. Quarterback is 9th. Coaching is 11th. Front office is 10th.
Broncos.
Yep, Broncos as well. They're number 7. Their roster's ranked 4th, and their coaching is ranked 3rd. Quarterback is ranked quite low. That kind of pulls them down a little bit. But yeah, Broncos for sure up there.
I'm gonna go hands off with the Commanders and Patriots for now. I feel like I should be able to come up with some other teams. You know what? I think this team, I know they have a very old quarterback, but he is ready to win right now if he's healthy, and they've got some young players on both sides of the ball, and Verse and Nakua. So, you know what? Why not? Rams.
LA Rams are 13th. Close.
Right, 2 strikes.
Yeah, their overall roster's pretty low. Quarterback is ranked 26th. I think they're doing that under the assumption that Matt Stafford retires in this window, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah, that was stupid of me.
And then coaching is 4th, front office is 3rd. So that is really high for them, but it's the quarterback that pulls them down.
All right, what numbers am I missing in the top 10?
You're just missing number 9 and 10, actually. You have all of the top 7. So you've done a pretty good job so far nailing all the top ones. Just 9 and 10 with 1 strike left.
All right, I'm using my hint. Is it a quarterback? Is one of the 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever it is quarterback on a rookie deal?
One of them is, yes. One of them is not. Both quarterbacks are younger, though. I think these guys are the same age, actually.
That makes me think it's not the Bengals, so I'm going to hold off on that. Man, NFC or AFC?
Both NFC.
Okay, so it's not the Bungles.
Not the Bengals. Bengals are 15th.
There's certainly no
front
way
office
it's
is ranked
Seattle.
28th for Cincinnati.
That's good stuff. There's no way it's Seattle. All right, if you tell me this is the Bears, we're ending the segment.
Not the Bears, no. Bears are 18th.
Seahawks? I don't know. I'm at a loss.
Nah, Seahawks, wrong.
Buccaneers.
No, 14th. The 2 teams you're missing, you said one of them earlier. The Commanders are 10th with quarterback.
With the oldest roster in the league?
Yeah, but they still have Jaden Daniels, and their front office is ranked high.
And Deebo Samuel's their wide receiver 1 as it stands right now, just so we're clear.
3 years, 3-year window here. Number 9 is San Francisco.
Oh, my God.
Coaching is ranked 2nd, by the way. So they are quite higher on Kyle Shanahan than
throw up
than you and I are.
Throw up in my mouth.
That's it.
They paid, the 12th best quarterback in the league, QB1 money, old roster, coach that kind of seems like halfway in, halfway out, and they're okay. Whatever. That was for the most part a respectable list. Sometimes I just get angrier and angrier as we do this. Like that one where we were guessing the highest or the best safeties in the league based on contract, but they got all the contracts wrong.
Yeah, that was
that one made me mad.
Just a great article the one day I was gone, just a fake article.
It might have been an AI article that we fell for. It really might have been. 989-837-6125. Ben Bosscher Show, live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Isaiah, let's play some word association.
I'm ready.
Spring.
Repairs.
Wind.
Roofing.
Rain.
Gutters.
Leak.
Buckley Satinbury Repair.
Who do you call?
Ghostbusters.
No, son. Who do you call?
Buckley Satinbury Repair.
That's right. Don't wait until spring. Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today for all your roofing and gutter needs.
It's the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Scarlett Mason from Standish Sterling High School. With a 4.3 GPA, Scarlett's a member of the track and field team and a state champion in swimming. Scarlett, a member of the National Honor Society, and PALS, a student support group.
We get qualified, and then we are someone that, if a student is uncomfortable talking to an adult, they can come talk to us about what's going on at home or whatever they're struggling with. The biggest thing was it raised mental health awareness, and I think that's huge in high school.
Scarlett will be attending and swimming at Wayne State in the fall. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
Celebrate the 75th anniversary of a Peanuts Christmas with the Great Lakes Loons on Friday, August 29th. Relive the heartwarming classic in a festive atmosphere filled with nostalgia and holiday cheer. The team will also wear Peanuts-inspired jerseys that fans can bid on during a live online auction. For tickets, head to loons.com. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loons staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think the Detroit Lions are going to be worse this season, but still go 12-5 and win the NFC North. I think the Minnesota Vikings are the biggest threat to steal the NFC North from the Detroit Lions. I think we got to taper back our expectations for Bryce Underwood, with him being an 18-year-old freshman and all. I think the lack of aggression from Scott Harris at the MLB trade deadline is going to haunt the Tigers for years to come. And I think you should listen to the Ben Bosscher Show weekdays from 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, if you agree or disagree with anything I just said.
From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
(989) 837-6125. Who do you think finishes with the most home runs on this Detroit Tigers team? Right now, Riley Green has 27. Spencer Torkelson has 26 after hitting a home run last night, his second run of the game, solo shot, ends up winning the Tigers the game. So I don't think it's that crazy for Torkelson to finish with the most home runs on the team based on the way that he's playing, based on the fact that he hits home runs versus lefties and righties, based on the fact that he still is yet to have his monster month that he has had once a month every year, or once 1 month every year. You know what I'm trying to say. So
what?
Who do you think ends up finishing with the most home runs, Kyle? I guess is my question, because I kind of think it's Spencer Torkelson.
Yeah, I mean, we could be sneaky here and be like, well, Kerry Carpenter's been hitting a lot of them lately, and he, you know, if he continues to hit them at this rate, he might overtake those two guys. He's got 21. I think that would be kind of bold to take that approach. Like I stated earlier, I think Riley Green picks things back up the rest of the way, and I would say Riley Green probably gets a little bit near that 35 number. Hopefully he gets over that 35 number, closer to 40. But I'm going to go with Riley Green. That's going to be my pick.
I'm looking at some comments that we're getting, and a lot of people are saying Carpenter, ... if they let him play.
Really? I mean,
do people not understand the fact that he just can't hit versus lefties?
Right.
Why
look at Riley Green, I guess, but
why are people so adamant about him playing every day when there's there's 4 years of evidence that he cannot hit against lefties, and it's a better move to take him out of the game for a Jahmai Jones or an Andy Ibanez who actually come through versus the lefties? Do people not understand that part of Kerry Carpenter that's somewhat of a hole in his game? Like, he's not a perfect player, but he actually can have perfect stats if you actually platoon him the way that A.J. Hinch does. That's the reason his OPS is so high. All his numbers would be significantly lower if he played every day versus the lefties. So it's like, I think some people make the mistake of they jump in, they look at his average, they look at his OPS, they look at his home runs, and they're like, why does this guy not play every day? It's because if he played every day, those numbers would all be worse. Not the home runs, but
I believe that what frustrates people, because, I mean, I think it's pretty understood that he can't hit lefties. I think what frustrates people is when he gets taken out for a righty in like the 4th or 5th inning, and then it comes back around in the 7th when a righty now has been entered into the game, and it's like, man, you probably could have just eaten that one Kerry Carp lefty at bat for him to be in this situation right now.
I agree with you.
That's probably what frustrates people, which I think A.J. Hinch does a pretty good job of waiting for it to be a high-leverage situation. Like you saw last night, Kerry Carpenter's both at-bats versus Tyler Alexander came when they're up 1-0. There's nobody on base. It's not like they need a run at this moment, and we can use them later in the game.
And the White Sox do an opener, I think, intentionally to try to, screw with some of the A.J. Hinch stuff.
Totally, yeah. A lot of teams do it that way. So that's why A.J. Hinch batted Wenzel Perez and Andy Ibanez so high in the lineup last night. Like, oh, you want to bring in a lefty? All right, well, I got these guys ready to go. So, yeah, I think he does a pretty good job handling that, but I would assume that's where the frustration comes from with the taking Carpenter out of the game early, and then, all of a sudden it's the bottom of the 8th inning. We're tied 1-1. There's a runner on second, and Andy Ibanez is facing a righty,
That's the part that I don't like either, but at the same time, the people that are commenting, and texting into the show are saying, if he played every day, implying that it's the days that he's not in the lineup that make them mad. But again, even the days he's not in the lineup, he's probably checking into the game at some point, unless the other team decides to never put in a right-handed pitcher, which just doesn't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a frustrating one because I'm content with the role that he has, but I don't think a lot of Tigers fans are. Right? We hear Bill Simonson all the time talking about on the Huge Show, like, Kerry Carpenter should be an everyday player.
No, he shouldn't.
I think
it's just
3 years of evidence.
Like, I think people who say that are looking at the numbers, and it's like, dude, he had a 930 OPS last year. Yeah, one, he played in like 60 games, but also he's not facing the guys that he's bad against. Like A.J. Hinch puts him in the perfect situations. That's why the numbers are so good, and that's why the numbers are continuing to rise right now. He utilizes him to his best ability. I think that there's no other way to do it.
There's an argument that Kerry Carpenter is the best platoon player in Major League Baseball. He is useless versus lefties. He is one of the best hitters in the league versus righties. And the fact that he only plays versus the right-handed pitching has led to these incredible stats that when you just look at them without diving deeper into them or watching the Tigers every day, he comes across as one of the best players in Major League Baseball, and it leads to Tigers fans asking him to play more. But again, he is terrible versus left-handed pitching. Nobody's perfect. Kerry Carpenter's certainly not perfect, but he's been carved out a perfect role for him specifically on this Tigers team. I'm content with it. I don't like when he's pulled from the game in the 4th inning, to all the points that you made, because it could come back to bite the Tigers. But in these high-leverage situations, I'm completely content putting in an objectively worse player in Ibanez or Jahmai Jones simply because of the splits. Sometimes you got to read the numbers.
It would be different if Carpenter brought a ton of value defensively or on the base pads or something.
Yeah, he's got a cannon of an arm in right field, but that's kind of it.
But he's obviously his number one weapon is batting against right-handed pitchers, and that is by far his best weapon. So, yeah.
Jahmai Jones, one of the uglier plays in the outfield last week. that all-righty lineup when Jahmai Jones actually got the start in left field. It's like somehow a ball went over his head when he was running forward as the left fielder. It's like, wait a minute. That's like a little league error.
He never needs to be playing in the outfield.
Ever.
All-time DH. I thought you were going to say one of the uglier players on the team, and I was like, whoa, just catching a stray for no reason.
Ugliest guy on the team? I might be the best player on the team. I don't know if anyone's jaw dropped by Tarek Skubal, you know?
Oh, what? What has this conversation turned into?
I don't know. 989-837-6125. Hey, I think I did something kind of creepy. Wanted to get your thoughts on it. That's when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mid. After the Ben Bosscher Show, I'm going to the Greater Midland Community Center, your hub for health, wellness, and fun, right in the heart of Midland. From fitness classes and open gym swimming, youth sports, and family activities, there's something for everyone. Affordable memberships, expert staff, and a welcoming space for all ages and abilities. Hosting an event, ask for their rental spaces and full-service event support. Stay active, stay connected, all under one roof. That's Greater Midland Community Center. Learn more, sign up at greatermidland.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandel.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent located downtown Midland. All right, are we allowed to say that Riley Green is officially back? Or was it too long of a sample size of him being a negative hitter that you want to see him improve his at-bats for a longer stretch? Because going back to this weekend against the Angels, it seemed like he had started to turn things around, had a multi-hit game to open up that series, had the homer on Sunday, and then last night he leads things off with a double against the White Sox, and it seems like he's starting to get back to the hitter that we've seen for most of the season from Riley Green. I'm okay with the strikeout numbers, and honestly, I could care less if he leads the league in strikeouts as long as he's still providing that 250-plus batting average, that 800 to 850 OPS, and obviously, most importantly, hitting 35 to 40 homers. We see it year after year that the top 5, top 3 strikeout leaders are good hitters. They're good power hitters. Maybe that's not what we expected from Riley Green, but I also don't think we expected him to maybe get close to hitting 40 bombs on the season. It helps when the likes of a Kerry Carpenter is also really starting to bolster this Tigers offense. It's got to make things easier for Riley Green to get back into the swing of things. I'm not 100% sure if I'm ready to say that Riley Green is back and fully out of this slump, but if he strikes out once or twice a game but is adding a hit or two, still having that extra base pop, I think we can live with it. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent located downtown Midland.
At Scott Family Dental, they don't just care for your teeth, they care for you. Dr. Brandon Scott, a Michigan State graduate and Midland native, specializes in preventative, cosmetic, and restorative care. But what truly sets him apart is his commitment to building personal connections with every patient.
I value my patients as unique individuals and strive to make the best care decisions for you. I will always be honest and open regarding your care. That is my promise to you and anyone I treat.
Scott Family Dental. Let's bring out your best smile together.
Mountain View Restaurant at Apple Mountain, where casual elegance meets breathtaking views. Our new expanded menu features a wide variety of dishes to satisfy every palate, from fresh seasonal options to your all-time favorites. Whether you're hosting a client lunch, enjoying happy hour, or planning a date night, we have the perfect setting for every occasion. Don't miss our weekly features and refreshing beverages. In the summer, dine al fresco on our beautiful patio and soak in the scenery. Mountain View, where great food meets spectacular views.
Celebrate the 75th anniversary of a Peanuts Christmas with the Great Lakes Loons on Friday, August 29th. Relive the heartwarming classic in a festive atmosphere filled with nostalgia and holiday cheer. The team will also wear Peanuts-inspired jerseys that fans can bid on during a live online auction. For tickets, head to loons.com. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams?
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt. I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think the Detroit Lions are going to be worse this season, but still go 12-5 and win the NFC North. I think the Minnesota Vikings are the biggest threat to steal the NFC North from the Detroit Lions. I think we got to taper back our expectations for Bryce Underwood, with him being an 18-year-old freshman and all. I think the lack of aggression from Scott Harris at the MLB trade deadline is going to haunt the Tigers for years to come. And I think you should listen to the Ben Bosscher Show weekdays from 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, if you agree or disagree with anything I just said.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Michigan for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, Kyle, I think I might have reached all-time creepiness levels yesterday
I cannot wait
evening.
for this.
So, as the YouTube watchers can see, I have this Penei Sewell jersey on. I ordered it last week on Grit Night because I was like, I don't have a Lions jersey. This is ridiculous. I'm going to get one. And they were on sale, and I was like, I feel like I have to get this. So anyway, long story short, shipped it to my new address because I moved last week. Well, little did I know there's a difference between East Haley Street here in Midland and Haley Street here in Midland. Big difference.
Oh.
So tells me my package has been delivered. I'm looking around. I'm looking in the mailbox, looking around my door. It's nowhere to be found. So I go on the website and do a little investigating, and they have a picture of where they dropped it off, and it's just clearly not to where I'm living. I'm like, all right, time to find this place. So I drive up and down, end up finding the place a couple minutes down the road. Again, East Haley Street versus Haley Street, two different things. Learned that the hard way. And I knock on this person's door. I'm like, please let this person have the jersey. Nobody answers. And I knock again. Nobody answers. And I knock a third time, ring the doorbell. Nobody answers. I'm like, awesome. I'm never getting this jersey back. This person totally stole it. So hop back in the car, leave, come back, and like I had to go run a couple other errands. And on my way back, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take the long way. And I'm going to go look what happened, like see what's going on at this house. And I drive by, and I notice the dog outside on a leash. And I'm like, okay, they're going to come let this dog back in eventually. So let's see what's going on. So I go knock on the door. They're definitely home. Nobody answers. Bang on the door again. Nobody answers. So I take my car, and I park it right in front of their driveway to the point where if they wanted to leave, they would not be able to. Because it's the only spot I could actually keep my eyes on the dog who was leashed up on the back.
So you just barricaded their driveway.
Yes. I waited probably
Super
20
illegal.
minutes. Yeah, I know. I wait anything to get this Penei Sewell jersey back. There was no way I was not getting this. So I park in front of the driveway. I just hit eyes locked into this dog for like 20 minutes. I'm like, where is your owner? Someone come get you. And eventually, like, again, I'm just sitting in my car. I'm not even on my phone because if I'm on my phone, I miss the chance that, like, she comes and lets the dog back in or he. So I'm just, like, locked into this dog, listening to the Black Eyed Peas. And
Oh, boom, boom, pow.
That's exactly it. And eventually I see the door open. I bolt out of my car. Excuse me. I think you might have received a package. that I accidentally sent here. And she stared at me for like a whole, like, felt like an eternity. I was like, I'm never getting this back, am I? It's like, are you Ben? Yes, I am. Perfect. I have that for you inside. Goes back in. I kid you not, like 5 minutes go by. And then she finally comes out with it. And I'm like, oh, yes. The Panay Sewell jersey. The thing that I've needed so much. And I finally got it.
Did
Is
it
that
ever,
creepy? Is that creepy?
Yeah, super, actually. Did it ever occur to you that, like, maybe they took so long to come outside because there was a creepy guy parked in front of their driveway outside?
Yeah, old lady, too.
Yeah, do you think ever, like, maybe they thought someone was actually waiting for them to come outside and do exactly what you did?
After banging on their door about 7
You
times.
said old lady. Maybe she didn't hear. Maybe she was back in another room doing something.
Oh, I was hitting that door pretty hard by the last time. Just smashing it. I needed the jersey. There was nothing that was going to stop me from getting this thing.
I've had a situation where someone else's has been, like, sent to my place, but I'll just, like, go take it to their house or to their apartment. It's only happened to an apartment that's, like, been really close to mine, like to the wrong apartment type thing. But I've never had my package shipped to someone else's place.
See, my other concern is the router that I ordered, for internet.
Oh, man, it's going to go right back to the old lady's place.
It might be going back to the old lady's place.
Hey, at least she knows.
No
at least this time you should be like, she won't be, maybe scared for her life.
I should have given her my number or something. Like, hey, if this ever happens again.
So it's the same number address, just east is the only difference?
No, the funny thing is she lives at a
completely different number?
Well, one digit's different. But the packet, like, they take a picture of the package that they dropped off, the NFL people or whoever delivered it, and it's just, like, clearly not the address I plugged in because the numbers are literally in the picture on the door.
Oh, so this could go to someone else's house then, your Wi-Fi thing.
Yeah, I'm.
Oh.
But that one's
it for sure is going to go to a different one.
That one's the easy, like, call the internet provider and be like, yo, this never showed up. You're going to need to send another one. I hope. I hope it's that easy. I don't know.
Or you could have just maybe called them after you realized you made that mistake with the jersey and been like, hey, send this here instead,
We'll see. It was supposed to deliver yesterday. I never saw it. I guess I never checked the mail super late.
That was pretty creepy. I would say I maybe would have just, like, came back again later.
I did.
Oh,
like
yeah,
40 minutes later.
That. Yeah.
And then I saw the dog. And I was like, here's my opportunity. She's coming back out eventually to get this dog. My bad.
So if that happens in your scenario, like, let's say she gets something shipped to your place, are you just, like, driving it to her place and dropping it off? Or are you just sitting there and like, she come gets it?
No, I'd probably take it to her place if it was, it's like literally down the road.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So again, East Haley and Haley.
So is it kind of concerning that she didn't do that for you,
Yeah, a little bit. But then again, like, it wouldn't have even said the right address because I didn't know that there was a difference. I think the address that was actually it was supposed to deliver to doesn't exist.
Well, it's a good lesson to learn. It sucks that it happened with a prized possession like a Panay Sewell jersey.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just scary. Like, when I left the house the first time, I was like, I'm never getting this back. And I'm going to have to call NFL and, like, just, like...
Call NFL.
I'm going to have to call Roger Goodell and just really complain, like,
Hook
hard
me up
until
again.
he gets me another one. And I was like, they're probably not going to do that because I'm the one that screwed up the address. But it all worked out in the end.
I had something... This is a good, like, order mishap story, too. I had something... I ordered a Tarek Skubal shirt when I got a Tigers hat one day. I think it was from MLB Fanatics or whatever, MLB Shop. And I didn't realize until, like, months later, because I got the hat and never got the shirt, because I just kind of forgot I bought the shirt, too. I didn't realize till, like, 3 months later. I was like, wait, I never even got this shirt. So I went to file a complaint that I never got it. Like, went through all the discussion with the person and everything.
Was it past the expiration date?
Yeah, and they're like, sorry, you ordered it too long ago. You can't get it.
Yeah.
Can't get a refund. Can't get anything. Oh, dude, that's so sick. Why couldn't you just say that right away?
How long were you on the phone with them?
I was in, like, chat. I was in the chat with them, yeah.
I one time ordered something from Amazon. I don't know what I originally ordered, but just a Space Jam shirt showed up. I was like, okay, I'll take this. And it was, like, addressed to me, my address. It's not at all what I...
for you?
No, not at all what I ordered. Because whatever I actually ordered never showed up.
Oh.
And I was like, I'll just
cooler?
take this.
Yeah, was it better than what you actually ordered?
Yeah, it probably, like, was cheaper. I don't really wear this. Like, I'm not going to wear the Space Jam jersey, like, around.
Oh,
other
was
than
it
just
jersey?
No, it was just a shirt.
Oh.
I'm not going to wear it anywhere but around the house, but, like, I thought it was cool. You know? Anyway. It's still not as creepy as Brad watching you sleep through your back window in the middle of the night.
Was your thing creepier or was me and Brad's thing creepier?
Definitely you and Brad. He watched you sleep at midnight.
At like a couple days moved into my new place.
Yeah,
too.
that was good.
Yeah, very, very good stuff there.
989-837-6125. Higher Standard Automotive, the name, I mean, it says it all. Honest, reliable auto repair done the right way the first time. Locally owned and operated. Serving Midland with expert service and small-town integrity. From oil changes to brake jobs to diagnostics and major repairs, they handle it all with precision and care. ASE-certified techs, fair pricing, and a commitment to doing things the right way the first time. Because your car deserves better than just good enough. Drive with confidence. Drive with Higher Standard Automotive. When we come back, the Ben Bosscher Show is going to continue. We got to get to the X factors for this Detroit Tigers team the rest of the season. It's coming up. Ben Bosscher Show again. We're live on 100.9, The Mitt, and YouTube and Facebook.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Allie Huntoon, the director and founder of Allied HR Solutions and Allied Group Fitness.
Lean on people I trust to help me get through things too. If I know that I'm overwhelmed or I need support with something, you know, I usually try to reach out. Sometimes I'm still trying to do things all myself, and that's a learning curve too. Delegation is your friend. I'm learning that.
Something I definitely do.
So I think it's leaning on your team. I think it's putting things into perspective. You know, even though HR is very important, and we have things all the time that come up with terminations or discrimination or harassment.
Listen to the full interview with Allie on YouTube on 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
The doctors at Midland Eye Care want you to know a comprehensive eye exam is the only way to protect and detect vision-related disease. It goes beyond improved vision from glasses or contact lenses. Many common eye diseases such as glaucoma, diabetic eye disease, and age-related macular degeneration often have no warning signs. A dilated eye exam is the only way to detect these diseases in their early stages. This message brought to you by Midland Eye Care, your vision source on Eastman Road in Midland, on Cedar and Gladwin, and now on East Washington and Freeland.
At Aird Insurance Group, they're more than just policies. They're your trusted partners in protecting what matters most.
Whether it's auto, home, life, or business insurance, their team takes the time to understand your needs and find the best coverage for your unique situation.
With personalized service and unbeatable rates, Aird Insurance Group makes protecting your future easy.
Call Aird Insurance Group today and see why their clients trust them to keep them covered.
Aird Insurance Group.
The experience matters.
Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader. From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader. From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Welcome back in. Ben Bosscher Show, live on 100.9 The Mitt. Look, I'm not necessarily an optimist when it comes to the Detroit Tigers. At least I haven't been in the second half of the season, and I don't think they've given me any huge reason to be. But with that being said, I think there's a couple different X factors on this team that actually could change the way I think about them and their ability to win a World Series. The number one X factor, I think, heading into the rest of the season for the Tigers is Spencer Torkelson. He's been one of the most consistent players on the team throughout the course of the season. There hasn't been very many highs. There hasn't been very many lows. It has been solid. March, 1293 OPS, just a couple of games. April, 832. June, 828. July, 664, a little bit of a down month. And then August, 850. Oh, I'm sorry, 851.
It's like Tyrese Halliburton over there.
The voice change?
Voice.
Yeah, I had a little frog in my throat. 851. So he's been a very consistent player throughout the course of the season. And we're yet to have this monster month that he's had in each of his first two seasons in the league. Or not first two seasons, so each of the last two seasons. Ironically, it's been in April in both months. 9 home runs in 2023. Hit 308, hit a ton for average in 2024. So if we can get an awesome August, like the last 22 days of August from Spencer Torkelson, and all of a sudden he does have this monster month, I don't think it's off the table for us to, at the end of the season, think, okay, Spencer Torkelson is truly hitting like one of the best players in baseball right now. He's going into the postseason scorching. Maybe he is leading the team in home runs and OPS. That's all on the table. So that to me would be X factor number one. Troy Melton to me is X factor number two. 24-year-old. He's still a prospect technically, but is bound to get taken off this list very soon. 2 appearances out of the pen so far. Just a 118 average, and on the season with the 2 starts including, just a 216 expected batting average. He's had some shutdown ability, and that slider gets people to swing and miss. Barely allows any runs, 1.69 ERA, and the .71 whip has been outstanding. That's both out of the pen. So if this guy can actually come in and be one of these bulk inning relief guys to where, hey, Mize, in the second inning, this just isn't going to work out. Flaherty's already given up 3 home runs, and it's only the 4th. You've got a guy that you can throw in and allow you to take some bulk innings to get you to your guys like Vest and Finnegan by the end of the game. And the funny thing about Troy Melton is, in an ideal world, he's a starter. That's where you're going to get the most out of him. And it feels like the Tigers are leaving a little bit on the table with him coming out of the bullpen, but it's uniquely exactly what the Tigers need right now. Casey Mize, I don't think would be valuable coming out of the bullpen. I've always tossed the idea of Flaherty doing it, but I think if it hasn't happened by now, it's just not going to happen. The fact that you have some insurance on those 2 guys having blow-up starts, Melton can come in. He doesn't need a 5-day recovery because of the fact that he's not going 5 or 6 innings throughout the course of a game. This is a guy that you can use multiple times in a playoff series, and I think the fact that no one really has seen him all that often, and this is still, he's only had 4 appearances in MLB games, gives him a little bit of an advantage when he's facing off against hitters for the first time. Those are the 2 X factors to me. One on the mound, one in the box. It's Spencer Torkelson, it's Troy Melton. If those guys can really put things together the last month and a half of the season, that's how I'm going to start to view this team a little bit differently going into the postseason.
Well, I think with Troy Melton, too, the fact that he's never come out of the bullpen in his career, it just kind of adds something a little bit extra to this, because think about how much different a routine's got to be for him now that he's done it this way. I know you're still pitching, and that obviously comes in, that's how you're going to handle it the way you usually do, but all these starting pitchers always talk about how they have a specific game day routine, and now that kind of has just get shifted for him now that he's moved into the bullpen and is taking on a large role. And I think that this is honestly a good thing for him. I've talked about how I still wish he was in the starting rotation just because of the ceiling of him this season. I think is higher than a guy like a Chris Paddock or even a Charlie Morton. Now, those guys, you probably trust them more just for an experience perspective. Sure, that's fine. But I think that this is good for Melton to build up some confidence, because we see a ton with these rookie pitchers that come in and they just get blown up right away in one of their first couple starts. It's just like something that happens to nearly every young starting pitcher. It happened to Troy Melton on his very first start, right? This kind of allows him to get by that and do it in a way that's a little bit, you don't have to go 5 innings. We just need 2 or 3 from you every time. Give us your best stuff instead of in those 5 innings when you're trying to elongate things and have an entire good outing. So I think Melton fits a role on this team that there isn't a guy you like in that spot. And that's what makes him the X factor out of the bullpen. I really do agree with you on that side of things. They just don't have a guy. I know. I see the rain behind you right now. It's kind of crazy.
Just turned around. It's like, what is happening?
Yeah. They don't have a guy who you trust to come in and, like you said, in the playoff game where Casey Mize or Jack Flaherty, specifically in the playoffs too, because starters do not go long in the playoffs. We'll see Skubal go 6 or 7, and then we are not going to see anyone else go more than 5 innings. So when Casey Mize pitches 4 innings, pitches 3 innings in a game 3 of the ALDS, Troy Melton, hey, we need 3 out of you. We need 2 out of you. That is the guy who you trust in that spot because there just isn't another guy right now. And if he can continue to be that guy, it's going to be huge for Detroit.
Looking towards the future with him.
Oh, he's a starter for sure.
100%.
He's a 6th overall prospect on the team. He's the top pitching prospect on the team.
Him and Job together.
Yeah, man.
In an ideal world. And again, like the Job thing is really just hypothetical.
Ooh.
With Skubal or without Skubal?
I said without Skubal. That's what runs through Scott Harris's head, you know?
Yeah.
Imagine when Skubal's gone, we have these 2 guys as the stars of the team.
Then they'll see. We can do this the Moneyball way.
He almost probably wants Skubal gone. Just like, I'll show them.
You said something funny to me a couple days ago that Scott Harris actually would rather be right than actually like
Than
the
win.
Tigers have success in
Yeah,
the postseason.
I think he cares more about being right than anything else. Like, I think that is his number one thing he cares about most, rather than the Tigers winning. And that, obviously, the Tigers winning can prove him right. But he cares about being right more than anything. I mean, he talked about Eugenio Suarez getting off to the rough start. Like,
okay, man. Oh, my God.
Whoa. A little bit of lightning and thunder action going on.
Did that
here.
hit the field?
Wow, that was pretty funny. I definitely heard that.
Through the headset?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That was loud.
That was loud
It
for
might
sure.
have hit the building. Dude, I think I just lost Wi-Fi.
I did lose Wi-Fi, too. Oh, no,
Are we
our
down?
stream is crashing right now.
No.
Oh, man. At least you can still hear us on 100.9 The Mitt.
Oh, man. Download the app if you still
We're
have
about to
internet.
get cut off by a weather alert on here, probably. Too.
Wow. I don't think that's ever happened. Lightning, we actually, I don't think we lost power, but I think we did just lose internet.
Yeah, my internet is down.
Wait, are we going to be able to get Jeremy on?
Oh, man. I hope so.
Oh, my God.
We got to figure this out.
All right, let us figure this out. We're going to try to get Jeremy Reisman on from prideofdetroit.com because I want to talk to him.
Internet, dude.
I want to talk to him about a handful of stuff coming up here, but we got to get this figured out because I think we might have just lost internet here at Dow Diamond. Oh, man, we are going to get this figured out. We want to talk about Jeremy Reisman because I want to talk about the following things.
I just saw the clip on YouTube, by the way, of the lightning strike.
That was
You could
crazy.
See it. You could definitely see it.
There is a couple things. Here's what I want to talk about. Hendon Hooker versus Kyle Allen. I think that's all wrapped up. We'll get his thoughts. Ratledge, Tyleek Williams, who impressed more. A couple other guys that potentially could be fighting for a roster spot. And some special team stuff. That's all coming up. I want to get to it with Jeremy Reisman. But hopefully we can get this figured out.
I think our internet's good now.
We're good.
Yep.
Are we good? We're back up on the YouTube.
We're back on YouTube and Facebook. Our internet's back.
I think Lightning...
Mother Nature tried stopping it, but we're good.
I think Lightning legitimately tried to end the stream, and like it might have actually hit Dow Diamond because that was one of the loudest lightning strikes I've heard. I had a headset on, and we're inside, and it felt like it was right behind me. Oh my God,
that was kind of cool. That was kind of sick.
You ever been struck by lightning? I feel like I would know that about you, but like, have you ever been like around like where like?
Have you ever had the rarest thing of all time happen to you? No, man, I have not actually.
What's worse, driving in this or driving in a snowstorm? Because I think driving in like a monsoon like this is actually the worst thing of all time. For sure, it's way worse.
Yeah, if it's the rain is coming down like extremely hard, that is way because you just can't see anything. A snowstorm, you're just going slow at least, but a rainstorm is the worst. In Michigan too, you're just kind of used to the snowstorms.
That's true. All right.
There's more thunder.
989-837-6125. Stay secure, stay connected, even in the rain, with Link Technologies, your local IT experts in Midland. From small businesses to large operations, they provide custom tech solutions that actually make your life easier, specializing in networking, cybersecurity, cloud services, and managed IT support, all under one fast, reliable roof. And by the way, you're speaking with people who speak your language. Whether you're upgrading, protecting, or troubleshooting, Link Technologies keeps your systems running smooth. Visit linktechsolutions.com and see how they can Help your business work smarter, not harder. It's the Ben Bosscher Show. Jeremy Reisman coming on next.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Loons took 4 of 6 off the Lugnuts last week in their second-to-last final homestand of 2025. And right now, they're riding the momentum of a 4-game win streak ahead of this 12-game road trip coming up starting Tuesday. And it was a really fun week against the Lugnuts in which the Loons got their first walk-off home run since May of 2023.
Pitch to Geloff. Swings and drives it deep to left field. That ball is on its way, and it is gone! Oh, it's been a long time for the Loons to end it on a long ball.
Great Lakes a half game over Lake County for that final playoff spot in the East Division currently. Start a 6-game road series with Wisconsin on Tuesday. First pitch is at 7:40. Pre-game coverage at 7:25 on the Mitt.
Now, wait a second, Sharon. So the Midland Area Community Foundation runs the Midland Area Santa House?
You bet we do.
And Midland Area River Days?
Absolutely.
Plus scholarships for students and grants for local nonprofits? That's like hitting the cycle and impacting our community.
Anyone can step up to the plate and help build community capital for as little as $5.
$5. That's the cost of a snack at the ballpark. How do I get in the game?
Just visit midlandfoundation.org and make a gift to our community investment fund. Every dollar makes a difference.
Join the team. Give today at midlandfoundation.org.
Hey, sports fans heading up north? Whether you're gearing up for the big game, hosting friends, or winding down after a long day, Hops and Schnapps is your ultimate beverage destination. With one of the largest selections of beer, wine, and spirits in Michigan, featuring over 1,000 options from around the globe, we're your beverage experts. Plus, our friendly team is here to help you find the perfect pick. Visit us in Standish, Grayling, and Gaylord today. Hops and Schnapps, raise your glass, raise your spirits.
Tired of floors that snore? Walls that whisper, meh? Premier Tile in Midland is here to spice things up one tile at a time. They've got backsplash that'll make your pasta jealous.
What?
Shower walls that'll actually sing in the morning. And floors so fabulous, you'll consider eating dinner off them. Stylish, affordable, slightly obsessed with grout. Visit Premier Tile, located between Stark and Sturgeon, right off US 10, or at premiertilestone.com.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think the Detroit Lions are going to be worse this season, but still go 12-5 and win the NFC North. I think the Minnesota Vikings are the biggest threat to steal the NFC North from the Detroit Lions. I think we got to taper back our expectations for Bryce Underwood, with him being an 18-year-old freshman and all. I think the lack of aggression from Scott Harris at the MLB trade deadline is going to haunt the Tigers for years to come. And I think you should listen to the Ben Bosscher Show weekdays from 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, if you agree or disagree with anything I just said. Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, Jeremy Reisman, prideofdetroit.com, is now joining us here live on the Ben Bosscher Show. We're up on YouTube and Facebook as well. Jeremy, everyone on your website, you included, is kind of making this very clear. The QB battle is still open. It's an open battle between Hendon Hooker and Kyle Allen. And I would make the argument, being a huge Hendon Hooker person, someone who was in love with this guy for way too long, this thing's over. Like, anyone with eyes clearly sees there's one quarterback that's better than the other one. So why do you think that this is still an open battle? Because in my eyes, it's over.
I mean, it's simply that there's just 2 weeks of training camp and preseason left. It's at the halfway point. I'm not calling a race at the halfway point of a race. And honestly, I think it's been much closer in training camp than it has in the preseason games. And obviously the preseason games carry a lot of weight, right? It's can you do it when, you're not wearing the red jersey? Can you do it against a team that, you're not that familiar with? So, it's certainly headed in the direction where I think Kyle Allen has a hold of the job, but I just, everyone is, everything is a little bit reactionary week to week. We're this way in the regular season too. I'm just waiting to see the fuller picture because, if I take all the data that I've seen every day at training camp plus the preseason games, it just feels a little bit closer than maybe it seems having just watched the preseason games.
So based on that second preseason game last Friday, we finally got a look at Ratledge and Tyleik Williams, the first and second round pick from this past draft. Who impressed you more? Because there was a big piece up on the article about, some of the breakdowns that Ratledge had, and I think he did have a really good game, but some of those Tyleik Williams snaps where he doesn't even show up on the box score, no pressures, no tackles or anything like that, but holding his ground when he's basically being double-teamed every play, that to me was like phenomenal. That play where he ends up getting double-teamed and Cunningham fills the gap, makes a tackle right at the line of scrimmage. Like, that kind of stuff gets me really excited. So to me, I thought it was Tyleik Williams. What about you?
I'd probably give the edge to Ratledge only because I think he's a little bit more well-rounded of a player right now. Like, obviously, I think both guys are probably much better in the run game on their perspective side of the ball. But I think Ratledge has a little bit more potential as a pass protector than right now I would say Tyleik has as a pass rusher. He actually got a fair amount of opportunities as a pass rusher, and that's clearly something that's down the road, and the Lions have made that clear from the get-go. Like, that's something that we see. He has the athletic potential. We see he has, the smarts to eventually be a pass rusher, but it's just not there yet. And I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. I don't think the Lions probably even care that much because they are so set up to be a really good run defending team, and that is always their primary goal. And so you're right. Like, he faced so many double teams on Friday night. It really makes me curious how offenses are going to attack them when DJ Reader's out there, because he's a guy that you kind of have to double team too. And Aiden Hutchinson's a guy that you kind of have to double team too. And so suddenly you're already at like 7 offensive linemen. How are you going to manage that? I have no idea. But I was really impressed with Ratledge. Like, I think when you also consider that he's out there with guys that he didn't rep at all with the training camp, he's next to Tristan Colton, who wasn't next to him at all in training camp. He's next to Mason Miller, who, again, he's repping with the ones all training camp. So to be able to look that balanced, that poised, and just that, like, nothing looked too big for him. So I think I'd give the edge to Ratledge, but both of them definitely impressed.
Ironically, it feels like of those two rookies, or really the rookie class in general, the one being talked about the most, at least right now, is Isaac TeSlaa. I know there's an injury to Tim Patrick, and he's been out for, a few days now with training camp. Is there a chance that TeSlaa is actually, like, contributing week 1 in a real way?
If you would ask me that 3 weeks ago, I would have said no. But I do think there's a shot now. I really do. I think he's playing well enough, and it's not like he's an all-star. Like, he's going to come out there and he's going to have 800 yards his rookie season. I don't think it's anything like that, but I think it's getting to a point where they can trust him to do a little bit of everything. They can trust him to be in the slot. They can trust him to be outside. They can trust him to block. They can trust him to be a red zone threat, to a point where you have to have sub packages for the guy. I think he is already in the conversation of like a top 5 or 6 weapon on this team. And normally that doesn't sound that good, but this team is just stacked with so many weapons that being a top 5 or 6 weapon on the team is actually like, oh, that's pretty darn good. If you're just under, JMO, or you're just under whoever, that's pretty good. And so, yeah, I think my expectations for his rookie season have pretty much skyrocketed since the preseason started and training camp started.
Jeremy, I saw that you wrote that the offense has been starting to click a little bit better in training camp. What are some things that you've been seeing to say that?
Well, I think what was striking for me in particular is last practice on Monday. Normally we see one-on-ones with like wide receivers versus corners, and that actually, I mean, that favors the offense, but it's also kind of unrealistic because it's just one-on-one. The way offenses work is route combinations work with each other, right? And so like you're trying to run kind of pick plays or interference or trying to get the defense mixed up. And Monday was the first time they did those drills where it was like 2v2 or 3v3 route combinations, and the offense was just toasting them. The defense looked like they weren't prepared for that sort of stuff. And meanwhile, you know, I think it was a little bit of like, hey, maybe this John Morton knows what he's doing a little bit, because it seemed like they were able to use each guy's skill set to complement one another. So like you use Sam Laporta's physicality to run upfield to take a defender with him, and then you use Khalif Raymond to hit him underneath and use his speed. That sort of stuff is what really started to I think work a lot, not just during those 2-on-2, 3-on-3s, but then once they split to 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s, it all started to kind of just seem to click. They're doing some creative stuff in the run games that I can't completely talk about, but there was a lot more to like on Monday than really what I had seen in the past couple weeks at training camp.
I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask. And I know there's like restrictions on what you can and can't talk about, but give me something about these two running back sets. You got to give me something.
I can't. I'd get in trouble. But
that's respect.
They're using them more than I've ever seen, and that is something that I've been clamoring for years. And so if the people could see me, I got a big grin on my face. I'll just leave it at that.
We all do.
Perfect. I do want to mix in a little bit of special teams because that hasn't, like, I don't know, the Dave Phipp first two special teams or first two games of preseason, like whatever, it hasn't been great. They continue to rep Grant Stewart at that kick return spot, which I don't necessarily love. They seem to be a little bit more married to it. We'll see if it actually sticks for the regular season. But who actually are the lead candidates to be the kick returner and punt returner? I assume it's Khalif Raymond for the punt return stuff. But
yes,
who do you expect to be the primary kick returners on this team? Because I've always thought that role was carved out for Vaki, and that's kind of why they drafted him. I hopped on whatever this means. I hopped on Madden and it was Tesla. I was like, oh, I hadn't even thought about this. This could be a fun option. But I've always dreamed about it being Gibbs, and I think you can give him a couple plays off because you have Montgomery. And I know that's like just not realistic. But who actually are like the realistic week one? These are the guys returning kicks and punts.
Yeah, I mean, I'd assume Vaki's in the mix, but we just haven't seen enough of him in training camp to really know if he's going to get those reps or not. I would say the three guys that are getting the most reps at kick return are Khalif Raymond, Craig Reynolds, and Grant Stewart. It's those three, and so I kind of think it's going to be between those three guys for now. Sione Vaki can certainly work his way into that conversation, and I fully expect him to get some run there if and when he returns to the lineup, but the Grant Stewart thing is like real. That is not like a novelty. That is not just something they're trying out for the heck of it. That is something that they see a lot of potential in. And he's got way more speed than you'd think. And I don't know, I would not want to try to tackle a guy running that fast with that kind of hair on fire attitude that he has. But yeah, we'll see. I think that is something that they still haven't quite decided on. But I would guess two out of those three guys are probably your week one guys.
Sticking with special teams, the last couple of years, there's been a little bit of a kicker battle, and you guys have covered that like very intensely on the website, like tracking every single one of these kicks. Well, there hasn't really been a battle this year, but take us through how Jake Bates has been so far in training camp.
Yeah, it's been up and down. It's certainly better than it was last year in training camp, which was, well documented how tough it looked at times, and even Jake Bates admitted in an ESPN piece this offseason that he thought he was going to get cut after a particularly bad practice. You're asking me this question off the heels of a day where I think he went 2 for 5, including a missed extra point. So probably on the worst end of his training camp performances thus far. But I don't think there's a lot of concern there. I think the interesting thing to me is they said they were going to put kickoffs on his plate in terms of like trying to find creative ways to kick the ball off, maybe try some of that line drive stuff we've seen from other teams. We saw that early in camp, and he's kind of pulled off from it. He had the one time, I think, in the opening preseason game where it bounced short. And so I don't know if they've kind of abandoned those plans, and maybe he's just kind of going to kick it high, and obviously you want to kick it short of the goal line. But that's something that I think he's still very much working on. So, Jake Bates has been fine. I'm not that concerned about it, but it's certainly still a little bit up and down, which is what we saw in preseason, but not during the regular season. So we'll see. I mean, one thing to consider though is, he didn't kick outside a lot during the season last year, and every practice is outside. So could be another factor that's just, something that's an additional challenge for him. But like I said, I don't think there's, the Lions aren't scouring the waiver wire or anything like that for a kicker right now.
I want to bring up Ben's favorite guy, Giovanni Manu, because I saw that they were doing some interesting stuff with him at training camp as far as playing on the other side of the line.
Yeah. I didn't get a chance to ask him about it yesterday, but it was the first time that we saw him a little bit at right tackle. And I don't know if that was, we're just working back in Dan Skipper and we're just working back in Taylor Decker, and we want to make sure those guys get left tackle reps as well. But, if you want to dig into it and overread into it, maybe it'd be like, okay, well, we see a level of comfort in left tackle with him now. Let's see if he can be a swing tackle and work on the right side a little bit. You could see it as a demotion, I suppose. It's like, well, Dan Skipper is going to be our left tackle 3 or 2 or whatever, and now you got to fight for right tackle 2. I don't necessarily think it's that, but we did talk to him after practice yesterday, and I thought he had a lot of really interesting things to say. He thought, the preseason game was a step forward. He thinks practice is harder than games, which I thought was really interesting for him to say, basically saying yeah, man, the way Dan Campbell run practices, suddenly it makes sense to me when I go into games because it's way slower. It's way easier. Everything settles in because everything is so manic and fast and intense in practice. The game seems like a breeze. And so that would make sense a little bit with what we've seen too, because practices have been tough with him. And part of that is going up against Aiden Hutchinson and Marcus Davenport. When he's in the preseason game, he's going against 2s and 3s, but he has looked a lot better in the games. And so I think maybe there is a little bit more trust in him than there was at the beginning of camp.
Tim Patrick said something semi-similar to that too, right? That this training camp was just way harder than he expected based on, I know he missed the last couple training camps due to injuries, but just based on some of his training camps from years prior, right?
Yeah, and that's kind of surprising to hear from like a 7-year vet. I know he's missed a couple, like you said, missed a couple of training camps because of injuries and stuff. But yeah, I think he he more or less said Detroit Lions training camps are different.
So one of the more forgotten guys on this roster, I think, and out of sight, out of mind, is Miles Frazier, one of the picks from last year. He's been out, obviously, and Lee McNeil out on this defensive line too. There was a couple plays, and this is one of those Brad Holmes draft picks that the rarity, it just hasn't really worked out so far. But Broderick Martin, I thought he made a couple nice plays in Friday's game, but you guys had that bubble piece. None of you guys still had him in on the website in terms of making the roster. Does he have no chance? I don't know. This is a guy I really liked coming out of the draft, and
yeah,
I don't know. Is there anything there, or are we really just grasping at straws at this point?
To me, it's more so a numbers game. It felt like his future had been decided when they signed Roy Lopez, because now and really when they drafted Tyleik Williams, right?
Yeah.
They have DJ Reader, they have Tyleik, they have Lopez. All those guys can play the nose. So do you need a 4th string nose tackle? I mean, you don't really. I would say if he makes it through waivers, I think the Lions would like to maybe see his progress through, see his development through, and who knows what happens next year. You're not going to have DJ Reader probably on the team next year. You might not have Roy Lopez. Maybe there is a future here in the long term, but the question is, if you cut a 3rd round nose tackle, is he going to make it through waivers? I don't know the answer to that question, but the fact that he has shown a little bit of promise, and it was up and down in Monday's practice as well, makes me believe that maybe there's belief to keeping him around on the practice squad. But in terms of making the 53-man roster, it's hard to do the math and figure out a way to keep him.
Jeremy Reisman, prideofdetroit.com. Last thing I got for you. Look, Kyle and I have spent countless hours talking about all the contracts that need to be paid this summer between Gibbs. I know that's a couple years down the line, but Gibbs, Branch, Laporta, Hutchinson, even a Jack Campbell, JMO, yeah, all these guys still need to be paid. And typically it's those 5 that get talked about, and then I think Jack Campbell kind of just gets thrown into the mix. But I was thinking about this the other day, and just based on the way that Brad Holmes, does these contracts, the guys who earn it. And I know we're so far away, and talking about contracts when we're right before the season's about to start maybe isn't what you want to do right now. But I don't know, it's just on my mind. Would you at all be shocked if the Lions ended up paying Jack Campbell before a handful of these guys because It's just the way they do it. They love his attitude. Like, I wouldn't be shocked, but then I'd think about it and be like, I'd probably prioritize all of those other guys just because I think they're more important to winning. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if they were like, nope, we're getting the Jack Campbell done. Jack Campbell contract done before all of them. All of them.
It wouldn't surprise me either. Like, tough, gritty guy. And also, like, maybe a linebacker extension is one of the easier ones to get done, right?
Yeah.
Like, wide receiver contracts are probably pretty complicated. We know edge is going to be very complicated. The lines are not the only one that are, waiting or trying to figure things out with Aiden. So yeah, I mean, sometimes it's not just like, okay, this is our first priority. It's, this is the one we've gotten further along in negotiations. And I think all those guys are going to be a priority for the Lions, whether it's Gibbs, whether it's Branch and all. I think the not necessarily going to be like, this is the guy we want to get done first. This is the guy that we just were able to get done first. And that could very well be Jack Campbell.
Are you jumping aboard the Jack Campbell potential all-pro season train that I'm driving around the state of Michigan right now?
I mean, I'd love to see that. I don't know if I'm there yet. I think he's going to look, I mean, he does look so much more comfortable that in order to get the all-pro stuff and the Pro Bowl stuff, it just has to be like the turnovers, right? And that's something that it seems like it's just very hard to predict. Is Jack Campbell suddenly going to be a 5 interception guy and a 3 forced fumbles, 6 sacks guy? I don't know, maybe. But I kind of have to see it before I'm like making that extreme jump because he doesn't have a lot of those disruption plays in his history so far.
Jeremy Reisman, prideofdetroit.com. Always good catching up with you. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good, Ben.
There he goes. Again, prideofdetroit.com. You guys can read all the Lions content you need there. All right, when we come back, we'll hit the news. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Isaiah, how did you get all wet?
I was playing in the rain.
Son, you're in the house. It's not raining inside. Or is it?
Yeah, it's in the kitchen.
What?
Oh no, the roof has a leak.
Leak? That's a waterfall.
We need that fixed now.
Rexy Siding and Building Repair can fix it.
What, son?
Any job, anywhere. Bresky can do it all.
Call Bresky right now and get that roof fixed. And while you're at it, have him fix the gutters.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
Celebrate the 75th anniversary of a Peanuts Christmas with the Great Lakes Loons on Friday, August 29th. Relive the heartwarming classic in a festive atmosphere filled with nostalgia and holiday cheer. The team will also wear Peanuts-inspired jerseys that fans can bid on during a live online auction. For tickets, head to loons.com. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt. This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
They tell us we're more connected these days. We have cell phones, email, text messaging, yet we've never felt more disconnected from the people we care about the most. We need a place that's all about bringing us together. Say hello to the Great Lakes Bay region, where towns like Saginaw, Midland, Bay City, Birch Run, Chesaning, and Frankenmuth help us leave behind the overscheduled world we live in and visit a place we haven't seen in a while. One where the people make us feel right at home. And we remember just how bright our kids' eyes get, peeking through a riverboat railing, just to catch a glimpse of the wildlife. So let's go fishing, bird watching. Let's blow the suds off a local tap, take a tall ship dinner cruise at sunset, or stop by a festival just because the name made us smile. Right here in the Great Lakes Bay region, where reconnecting with what really matters is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Michigan.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back in. Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt, YouTube, Facebook. Hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Helps us get that content out. If you want to go listen to the open of the 11 o'clock hour or the 9 o'clock hour, we talked about Spencer Torkelson being the X factor on this team. Get your podcasts. Search the Ben Bosscher Show wherever you get your podcasts as well. But for now, I think it's time to hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
Okay, Ben, let's hop back into the news. We got some news during the show today, and that is with our favorite quarterback, Jordan Love. We found out earlier today from the Packers GM that Jordan Love tore a ligament in his left thumb and had a procedure to repair it, but he shouldn't miss any regular season time.
And who do the Packers open up with, Kyle?
The Lions.
The Lions. I'm already ready for it, man. The Packers fans already have the excuse locked and loaded in the chamber.
Malik Willis, week 1.
No, I'm not even saying Malik Willis
he's
week
just gonna
1.
be hurt, right.
I'm just saying, like, when he sucks and Kirby Joseph picks him off 3 times, they're going to be like, oh, but he hurt his finger, he's playing through an injury, he's so tough. When in reality, like, the Lions just own this guy. They just do. Kirby Joseph specifically.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Love, we saw this all last season. You know, Jordan Love came back from the injury early, played on it injured, and then that was the excuse for why he turned the ball over a ton of times. You know, that was kind of the reasoning behind that. So we're already getting it started early here in 2025.
It's not the team I'm worried about in the NFC North. It's really not.
No, I would agree with you there. Okay, let's move on to some golf news. How about that, Ben? Both J.J. Spawn and Xander Schauffele have qualified for the U.S. Ryder Cup automatic qualifier spots. J.J. Spawn being number 2 in the world, Xander Schauffele number 3 in the world. They join Scotty Scheffler. And next week, the 4th through 6th, so the final 3 players who can automatically qualify for the Ryder Cup will be decided after the BMW Championship in Maryland. Right now, currently, those 3 spots are Russell Henley, Bryson DeChambeau, and Harris English. They're all through 4 through 6, but we'll see if they finish there at the end of this championship.
I think DeChambeau should just be in it regardless.
Yeah, I mean,
for YouTube content purposes.
He'll get picked for it if he doesn't make the top 6 automatic qualifiers anyways.
Wait, so if you're not an automatic qualifier, again, raise hand, only been a golf fan for about 6 months, how do you get selected to be in it?
There's 12 people on each team, so the top 6 automatically qualify if they want to be in it, which they all will be. And then the captain, there's 6 captain picks. So Keegan Bradley, I guess it'd be 5 captain picks because it's plus him, but Keegan Bradley picks the remainder of the players.
So it's only 24 people that play in the Ryder Cup?
Right.
Okay.
It might be, I can't remember if it's captain plus 12 or if the captain is included in the 12. I can't really remember. Someone probably knows and will let us know on YouTube. But yeah, so I would assume Bryson DeChambeau will be in that mix, though, for sure.
Cool.
We saw Mookie Betts last night return to the outfield for the first time in 2025. I saw like a Bleacher Report thing that was like a highlight of him catching a pop fly, and it was like, Mookie Betts hasn't lost his touch in right field. And it was just like a routine fly ball. Like,
Just Dodgers glaze.
Yeah. Literally,
Typical
that's all it
Dodgers
was.
glaze.
Yeah, but Mookie Betts back on right field last night for the Dodgers. Good for them.
Nice.
I figured I would give a MLB standings update as well while we're here because it's that time of season. We're standings watching. Yesterday, the Tigers win and the Guardians lose after I sold my Guardians stock, so kind of a good sell. So they are now 6.5 games back in the division. Are you still monitoring this as far as a worry level, or is it just something you're just kind of keeping an eye on?
It's like a 3 on a worry scale. I think the Tigers have rode the ship here. Like they've won 9 of the last 14. Yeah. I don't think they're as good as they were in the first half. Sorry, but they're not going to blow this division, right? With the schedule that they have coming up, they should be okay.
Yeah, I would say that they should be okay as well. As far as the wild card standings go in the American League, with the Blue Jays and Astros leading the East and West divisions in the AL. Seattle's the top wild card team, followed by the Red Sox, who've lost 3 in a row after their really hot streak they were on. And the Yankees do own that final wild card spot. They hold a 1-game lead over Cleveland. The Rangers, who have been slumping a little bit as of late, are 2.5 games back. And I would say those are the only teams in real contention. The Royals are 4 games back, but they could be in the mix. Who knows? Just I don't really expect them to be. As far as the National League goes, Ben, the Milwaukee Brewers can't lose.
Nope.
They've won 10 straight. They're 30 games above 500 at this point. And this whole, Tigers have the largest lead on the division thing.
Is that over?
It's tied right now because they have a 6.5 game lead over the Cubs at the moment in the National League Central. So the Brewers are just killing it. Dodgers still lead the West by a game over the Padres. And the Phillies hold a strong 6-game lead over the Mets, who just lost their 7th straight game yesterday. Tough look for the Mets this time of year.
I'm trying. Do you think the Brewers are favorites in the National League, at all?
No, I think the Dodgers are still favorites to win the World Series.
Dodgers and Phillies 1 and 2. Brewers 3rd, tied with Tigers in terms of odds to win it all.
Man, that's just. They're killing it, but I kind of have to agree with the books on this, right? Do we think the Brewers are going to win a World Series? I don't know. It'd be cool. I'm not rooting against them. It's just. It's not usually the best team, especially a team like Milwaukee.
Well, again, I think I've made this clear. I don't want to do Dodgers radio any longer, but I just don't care about their wins and losses in the regular season. They're so loaded that I'm just probably picking them once we get to the postseason, unless something crazy happens the last month and a half of the season. But I think it's the Dodgers.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, that's going to close things out.
989-837-6125. Appreciate everyone hopping in the YouTube right now. We are live every weekday, 9 o'clock, all the way until noon, giving you all the content you need for the Michigan sports that you enjoy. We will be on every day this week, so hit that like and subscribe button if you are new to the channel. We have 2 traditions to close out every single show, okay? We're up here live in Midland, Michigan. We're on 100.9 The Mitt, and at noon, Colin Cowherd takes over. We like to predict what he's going to open with. Typically, it's like Caleb Williams, Shedeur Sanders, the good stuff. See if we can get some points. I've got a lock of the day, which is also a fun tradition because it's not very good.
Yeah, bunch of fun.
Some people are calling it the fade of the day. We'll hit both of those things when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's time to remember that. You remember. With Kyle Sandel.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent located downtown Midland. All right, are we allowed to say that Riley Green is officially back? Or was it too long of a sample size of him being a negative hitter that you want to see him improve his at-bats for a longer stretch? Because going back to this weekend against the Angels, it seemed like he had started to turn things around, had a multi-hit game to open up that series, had the homer on Sunday, and then last night he leads things off with a double against the White Sox, and it seems like he's starting to get back to the hitter that we've seen for most of the season from Riley Green. I'm okay with the strikeout numbers, and honestly, I could care less if he leads the league in strikeouts as long as he's still providing that 250-plus batting average, that 800 to 850 OPS, and obviously, most importantly, hitting 35 to 40 homers. We see it year after year that the top 5, top 3 strikeout leaders are good hitters. They're good power hitters. Maybe that's not what we expected from Riley Green, but I also don't think we expected him to maybe get close to hitting 40 bombs on the season. It helps when the likes of a Kerry Carpenter is also really starting to bolster this Tigers offense. It's got to make things easier for Riley Green to get back into the swing of things. I'm not 100% sure if I'm ready to say that Riley Green is back and fully out of this slump, But if he strikes out once or twice a game but is adding a hit or two, still having that extra base pop, I think we can live with it. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent located downtown Midland.
For 100 years, Forward Energy has been more than just a home heat and fuel provider. We've been a part of your community, and you've been a part of our family through every storm, every season, and every moment. We've been right here, keeping you warm and safe. As your hometown energy provider, we deliver more than just propane. We deliver peace of mind with reliable service, quality you can count on, and a commitment to always being there when you need us most. Forward Energy, 100 years strong, fueled by family, powered by community.
At Sandy Ridge, our completely renovated clubhouse is ready for you. With a brand new full kitchen, a spacious deck, and plenty of room for any event, it's the perfect spot for weddings, parties, or any special gathering. And that's not all. Our whole 16 green has been redesigned. Greens are the truest around, on par with the top courses, but at a price that fits your budget. Come visit us today at Sandy Ridge and see why we're the perfect choice for your next event.
Celebrate the 75th anniversary of a Peanuts Christmas with the Great Lakes Loons on Friday, August 29th. Relive the heartwarming classic in a festive atmosphere filled with nostalgia and holiday cheer. The team will also wear Peanuts-inspired jerseys that fans can bid on during a live online auction. For tickets, head to loons.com. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt. We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt. Mid-Michigan sports leader.
Let's pick out a good wine. Let's discover a new taste from a new place. Let's meet the people who handpick the grapes in places dedicated to the craft, in a land that only knows one way to grow things, rich and full. Welcome to Michigan, where the 4 seasons and 4 Great Lakes smile on the winemaker, where the quality of the wine is exceeded only by the warmth of the greeting waiting for us. And with more than 90 wineries, covering more than 13,000 acres, the harvest has never been better. So let's wander through lush vineyards, discover hidden treasures in vast cellars, and renew ourselves in comfortable tasting rooms. Let's all raise a glass. Let's gather our closest friends and become even closer. Because taking time to toast the beauty and bounty of life is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back in. It's the Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt. You know the deal. We like to close every show with 2 traditions. The first of those being our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right, Kyle. Give the update. I know you've been waiting all morning to tell everyone I lost yesterday.
I tailed yesterday, so I'm just as disappointed as you are. I'm trying to get my record up a little bit. Yeah, you did not hit yesterday, which means that you are not only 0-1 to start the week, but you are at an all-time low once again. It was a little bit of hope after Friday.
It feels like we get back into it and I build momentum and then all of a sudden you tell me the next day it's no, you're new all-time low, Ben.
Yeah. It's
thanks.
Yeah, minus 19.1 units all time, just unreally, just diabolically bad. 13-34-1 all-time record, and I'm 12-9-1 on the Taylor fade. I've missed 3 Taylor fades in a row now after getting on a hot streak.
You suck.
Yeah, I do, man. All right, you're up. What do you got today? Dodgers run line yesterday. I think you got to stop taking that. You've taken it twice. They've just lost the game straight up.
They're actually one of the worst teams in the league against the run, or against the run line, like against the spread.
Then, why do you keep taking it?
I don't know. They're going to. You know what's going to happen today.
Right, but
they're going to smash it. They're going to murder the Angels.
Then do it again.
Okay, I will.
No, you can't. I already made the graphic.
What if I want to switch it?
You're locked in, dude. It's part of the tradition of the show.
Got to do a pregame. Fine, I'll do Yankees. Let's just go to the Yankees.
Yeah, man.
The Yankees.
Let's go to another team that has been playing bad baseball.
I'll go Yankees run line. This is more so a bet against the Twins than it is. I told you guys right after
the Tigers.
Yes, I told you guys right after the deadline. This is probably one of the worst teams in baseball the rest of the way. And then they beat the Tigers in a 3-game set, so I look stupid for saying that. But I really do think the Twins, with what they did at the deadline and selling all their guys, and this basically being a quadruple A team, it's not very good. And Carlos Rodon's on the mound tonight, so I feel pretty good about this. It's a lot of guys that have never seen Carlos Rodon, and the few guys that have had little success against him. I know Buxton's back in the lineup, but I'll take the Yankees here at home. The first ever time for a lot of these guys playing in Yankee Stadium. Maybe the lights are a little bit too bright. So I'll go Yankees run line with Rodon on the mound tonight against the quadruple A Twins. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna fade. Tailed yesterday, didn't pay off, so I can't go 2 days in a row. So I'm gonna fade. The Yankees, they won yesterday. They're not playing good enough baseball to win back-to-back games. I think they just lose straight up.
Cool.
I told you, dude. I gave you one to pick today, by the way. I gotta let people know about this.
Go ahead.
The Colorado Rockies lost their 8th straight game last night. They have lost 8 straight games now 5 times this season and have yet to lose 9 in a row. 4 times this season they've lost 8 in a row, won that 9th game. So it's just sitting there right in front of you to take Rockies money line. It's at plus something odds too. Really could have got you back into it. It's basically a lock.
Plus 154.
Yeah, it's like a genuine lock of the day. But no, we'll go with the Yankees run line or whatever.
Okay. All right. That is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Next tradition. What's Colin opening with today? Did either of us score yesterday?
Neither of us scored yesterday because for some reason, out of all the good options, what happened to our scoreboard? Out of all the great options, he went with Caleb Williams, who wasn't in the news at all yesterday, by the way, and for some reason, or over the weekend, and he still decided to leave with Caleb Williams. Made no sense. I really thought one of us were going to get a point yesterday, and neither of us did, so tough.
What's the score, and whose turn is it to go first?
It is 12-7. You are in the lead. And today, Ben, I meant to bring this up in the open. Today's episode 50 of the Ben Bosscher Show.
Oh, look at that.
Yes, today is the 50th show, so shout out to everyone who's been here since day one, or if you've been here just joining today. Happy to have you. But it's my turn because it's an even day. So yeah.
You have no idea what to do right now, do you?
No idea. It kind of just dawned on me that I have to go first. Here, you know what? I'll go with the super. No, this is so bad, dude. I was gonna go with maybe he leads with this Jordan Love thing that's going on, right? Maybe that's something. No, I don't think so. Oh, I think we go with a basic thing today. What is something that he just it's on his mind? You know what? I'm going to do this. Cam Hayward stuff going on with the Steelers. I'm going to go Steelers. It somehow leads into an Aaron Rodgers thing. I'm just going to go Steelers as a whole. That'll be my pick.
I think the timeliness of a certain podcast dropping is going to lead to the first Chiefs Open since the Ben Bosscher Show's launched. 50 days. 50 times Colin has not led with the Chiefs. Not once has he opened up with Kansas City, Mahomes, Kelsey. But I think because
you're right,
the timeliness of it, I think there's something there with Mahomes and Kelsey and what to expect this year from Kansas City. Something along the lines of, I expect all this stuff from Kansas City. They're going to be better, but Travis Kelsey, not really locked in. Travis Kelsey, not going to be the player you once thought he was. Something like that, I think, would be good. With Taylor Swift popping up on their podcast. Also, thank you for not including that in news. Somehow worked its way into the show anyway. But
yeah, I still brought it up somehow. You know, one thing I forgot to, I was looking through news to try to guess a Cowherd thing, and I forgot to say this in the news. Kind of interesting. It'll be really quick. Texas is the first team ever to be ranked number 1 and be underdogs in their Week 1 ranking.
Ever.
Yeah. Since they've started ranking teams. Yeah, but like usually the number 1 team is not underdogs.
It's on the road. That's
Week
college
1.
football.
Like, you know, it's just a crazy. I'm just saying it's a crazy matchup for Week 1. Like, I think that's more so what it is. Texas v. Ohio State. Like,
Week 1 is jam packed because we've got Texas, Ohio State 1 versus 3, right?
I think so. I really don't know.
And then we've got the 2 favorites to win the Heisman in Klubnik and Nussmeier.
LSU, Clemson
at 7:30.
Who are both going to be much better teams this year than they were last year as well. Like, I guess Clemson made the playoff, but LSU is going to be back this year. So.
As long as Clemson's better Week 1 than they were last year, Week 1, when Georgia stomped them so far down into the earth that I thought that there was no chance that Clemson was ever going to be relevant again. Turns out I was wrong. They made the playoffs, but that was one of the worst Week 1. It's such a Week 1 letdown when your team gets smoked like that. Kind of like the Week 2 letdown when Michigan got smoked by Texas last year. But I don't think that's going to happen this year.
And like the Week 2 letdown when they get smoked by CMU this year.
They play
it's Week 3.
Oklahoma Week 2.
It's Week 3.
CMU comes to town.
That's my bad.
Week 3. No, it's all good, man. Hey, you know me. I'm going to be pulling for the Chippewas in that one. Fire up. All right, 989-837-6125. Save that number in your phone. It's going to be your favorite radio station to text into throughout the course of the Lions season, throughout the course of the Tigers season. We'll be right here every day, 9 a.m., live on YouTube, live on Facebook, and live on 100.9 The Mitt in Midland, Michigan. It's the Ben Bosscher Show, live on 100.9 The Mitt. See you guys tomorrow.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building